This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. Two neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years, they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now, two of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jake Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors last year as the Tigers won a state title for the 3rd consecutive season. Watch the game live for free, 7:30 on WFAA+, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th Quarter, our post-game highlight show with coverage from all across North Texas. 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Friday Night Football will be live tonight on WFAA+, the game of the week. It's the Celina Bobcats versus the Gunter Tigers, and the weather looks really nice. These are defending state champions, by the way, so it's going to be a great game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our live coverage starts just before that on WFAA+. 7 p.m. will be at 90 degrees, and as the game goes on and we get into the evening, it'll be a fairly nice night. We'll have relatively low humidity, clear skies, a light wind. It'll be on the warm side, that's for sure, with temperatures around 90 degrees near kickoff. Same thing for our other game that we're airing on WFAA+. It's the Crowley Eagles versus the Dallas Skyline Raiders at Forrester Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff for this game is 7, low 90s. You kind of get into that urban heat island effect there. 92 degrees at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 88 degrees. So we won't cool off quite as quickly here for this game. But again, it's going to be a great night for Friday Night Football all across North Texas. No storms to worry about, no delays expected. The weather looks excellent.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. Two neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years, they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now, two of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jake Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors last year as the Tigers won a state title for the 3rd consecutive season. Watch the game live for free, 7:30 on WFAA+, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th Quarter, our post-game highlight show with coverage from all across North Texas. 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Friday Night Football will be live tonight on WFAA+, the game of the week. It's the Celina Bobcats versus the Gunter Tigers, and the weather looks really nice. These are defending state champions, by the way, so it's going to be a great game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our live coverage starts just before that on WFAA+. 7 p.m. will be at 90 degrees, and as the game goes on and we get into the evening, it'll be a fairly nice night. We'll have relatively low humidity, clear skies, a light wind. It'll be on the warm side, that's for sure, with temperatures around 90 degrees near kickoff. Same thing for our other game that we're airing on WFAA+. It's the Crowley Eagles versus the Dallas Skyline Raiders at Forrester Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff for this game is 7, low 90s. You kind of get into that urban heat island effect there. 92 degrees at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 88 degrees. So we won't cool off quite as quickly here for this game. But again, it's going to be a great night for Friday Night Football all across North Texas. No storms to worry about, no delays expected. The weather looks excellent.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. Two neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years, they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now, two of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jake Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors last year as the Tigers won a state title for the 3rd consecutive season. Watch the game live for free, 7:30 on WFAA+, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th Quarter, our post-game highlight show with coverage from all across North Texas, 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Friday Night Football will be live tonight on WFAA+, the game of the week. It's the Celina Bobcats versus the Gunter Tigers, and the weather looks really nice. These are defending state champions, by the way, so it's going to be a great game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our live coverage starts just before that on WFAA+. 7 p.m. will be at 90 degrees, and as the game goes on and we get into the evening, it'll be a fairly nice night. We'll have relatively low humidity, clear skies, a light wind. It'll be on the warm side, that's for sure, with temperatures at around 90 degrees near kickoff. Same thing for our other game that we're airing on WFAA+. It's the Crowley Eagles versus the Dallas Skyline Raiders at Forrester Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff for this game is 7, low 90s. You kind of get into that urban heat island effect there. 92 degrees at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 88 degrees. So we won't cool off quite as quickly here for this game. But again, it's going to be a great night for Friday Night Football all across North Texas. No storms to worry about, no delays expected. The weather looks excellent.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. Two neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years, they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now, two of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jake Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors last year as the Tigers won a state title for the 3rd consecutive season. Watch the game live for free, 7:30 on WFAA+, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th Quarter, our post-game highlight show with coverage from all across North Texas, 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Friday Night Football will be live tonight on WFAA+, the game of the week. It's the Celina Bobcats versus the Gunter Tigers, and the weather looks really nice. These are defending state champions, by the way, so it's going to be a great game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our live coverage starts just before that on WFAA+. 7 p.m. will be at 90 degrees, and as the game goes on and we get into the evening, it'll be a fairly nice night. We'll have relatively low humidity, clear skies, a light wind. It'll be on the warm side, that's for sure, with temperatures at around 90 degrees near kickoff. Same thing for our other game that we're airing on WFAA+. It's the Crowley Eagles versus the Dallas Skyline Raiders at Forrester Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff for this game is 7, low 90s. You kind of get into that urban heat island effect there. 92 degrees at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 88 degrees. So we won't cool off quite as quickly here for this game. But again, it's going to be a great night for Friday Night Football all across North Texas. No storms to worry about, no delays expected. The weather looks excellent.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. Two neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years, they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now, two of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jake Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors last year as the Tigers won a state title for the 3rd consecutive season. Watch the game live for free, 7:30 on WFAA+, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th Quarter, our post-game highlight show with coverage from all across North Texas, 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Friday Night Football will be live tonight on WFAA+, the game of the week. It's the Celina Bobcats versus the Gunter Tigers, and the weather looks really nice. These are defending state champions, by the way, so it's going to be a great game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our live coverage starts just before that on WFAA+. 7 p.m. will be at 90 degrees, and as the game goes on and we get into the evening, it'll be a fairly nice night. We'll have relatively low humidity, clear skies, a light wind. It'll be on the warm side, that's for sure, with temperatures at around 90 degrees near kickoff. Same thing for our other game that we're airing on WFAA+. It's the Crowley Eagles versus the Dallas Skyline Raiders at Forrester Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff for this game is 7, low 90s. You kind of get into that urban heat island effect there. 92 degrees at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 88 degrees. So we won't cool off quite as quickly here for this game. But again, it's going to be a great night for Friday Night Football all across North Texas. No storms to worry about, no delays expected. The weather looks excellent.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. Two neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years, they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now, two of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jake Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors last year as the Tigers won a state title for the 3rd consecutive season. Watch the game live for free, 7:30 on WFAA+, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th Quarter, our post-game highlight show with coverage from all across North Texas, 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Friday Night Football will be live tonight on WFAA+, the game of the week. It's the Celina Bobcats versus the Gunter Tigers, and the weather looks really nice. These are defending state champions, by the way, so it's going to be a great game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our live coverage starts just before that on WFAA+. 7 p.m. will be at 90 degrees, and as the game goes on and we get into the evening, it'll be a fairly nice night. We'll have relatively low humidity, clear skies, a light wind. It'll be on the warm side, that's for sure, with temperatures at around 90 degrees near kickoff. Same thing for our other game that we're airing on WFAA+. It's the Crowley Eagles versus the Dallas Skyline Raiders at Forrester Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff for this game is 7, low 90s. You kind of get into that urban heat island effect there. 92 degrees at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 88 degrees. So we won't cool off quite as quickly here for this game. But again, it's going to be a great night for Friday Night Football all across North Texas. No storms to worry about, no delays expected. The weather looks excellent.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. Two neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years, they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now, two of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jake Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors last year as the Tigers won a state title for the 3rd consecutive season. Watch the game live for free, 7:30 on WFAA+, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th Quarter, our post-game highlight show with coverage from all across North Texas, 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Friday Night Football will be live tonight on WFAA+, the game of the week. It's the Celina Bobcats versus the Gunter Tigers, and the weather looks really nice. These are defending state champions, by the way, so it's going to be a great game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our live coverage starts just before that on WFAA+. 7 p.m. will be at 90 degrees, and as the game goes on and we get into the evening, it'll be a fairly nice night. We'll have relatively low humidity, clear skies, a light wind. It'll be on the warm side, that's for sure, with temperatures around 90 degrees near kickoff. Same thing for our other game that we're airing on WFAA+. It's the Crowley Eagles versus the Dow Skyline Raiders at Forrester Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff for this game is 7, low 90s. You kind of get into that urban heat island effect there. 92 degrees at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 88 degrees. So we won't cool off quite as quickly here for this game. But again, it's going to be a great night for Friday Night Football all across North Texas. No storms to worry about, no delays expected. The weather looks excellent.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. Two neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years, they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now, two of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jake Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors last year as the Tigers won a state title for the 3rd consecutive season. Watch the game live for free, 7:30 on WFAA+, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th Quarter, our post-game highlight show with coverage from all across North Texas, 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Friday Night Football will be live tonight on WFAA+, the game of the week. It's the Celina Bobcats versus the Gunter Tigers, and the weather looks really nice. These are defending state champions, by the way, so it's going to be a great game. Kickoff at 7:30. Our live coverage starts just before that on WFAA+. 7 p.m. will be at 90 degrees, and as the game goes on and we get into the evening, it'll be a fairly nice night. We'll have relatively low humidity, clear skies, a light wind. It'll be on the warm side, that's for sure, with temperatures around 90 degrees near kickoff. Same thing for our other game that we're airing on WFAA+. It's the Crowley Eagles versus the Dow Skyline Raiders at Forrester Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff for this game is 7, low 90s. You kind of get into that urban heat island effect there. 92 degrees at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 88 degrees. So we won't cool off quite as quickly here for this game. But again, it's going to be a great night for Friday Night Football all across North Texas. No storms to worry about, no delays expected. The weather looks excellent.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's a matchup of defending state champions. Number 1 Celina, the defending 4A Division I state champion, taking on number 1 Gunter, the defending 3A D2 state champ, in a neutral site game in Melissa. They moved this game to Melissa because they expect a big crowd to turn out for this one. 2 neighboring towns, the schools separated by just 7 miles, and over the last 2 years they have reignited a rivalry that was on hiatus for 25 years. Now 2 of the elite programs in the state go head-to-head for a second straight year. Players to watch this week for Celina, it's their superstar quarterback, Bo Bentley, the 4-star Oklahoma commit who is an Elite 11 quarterback and one of the top-ranked QBs in America. Meanwhile, for Gunter, senior running back Jay Campiti. He's the bell cow this year for the Tigers after earning first-team All-State honors.
From Melissa, Texas, it's a battle of a pair of defending state champions. Neighboring towns, schools separated by just 7 miles and equally accustomed to winning. Number 1 Celina and number 1 Gunter on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil. And with that, we welcome you to Melissa. Mike Leslie alongside the former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker Heckma Harrison. Heckma, tonight we have 2 of the elite programs in the state of Texas.
Yes, you do. 4A and 3A. And here's the deal. They had to find a venue that could hold all of this for number 1 versus number 1.
Yeah, they played this game last year at Celina. They were going to Gunter's, the designated home team tonight. They could have played this game in Gunter. The coaching staffs got together and said, hey, there was a big crowd last year at Celina. Let's move this game to a bigger venue so as many people as possible can come out and see this football game. Should be a really good crowd tonight at the beautiful Kenny Deal Stadium here in Melissa. Both these teams won championships a year ago. The Gunter Tigers in 3A Division II taking on Woodville, and it was Mitchell Gage, the older brother of this year's quarterback Knox Gage, taking it 96 yards on the touchdown return. The kickoff to start the third quarter got Gunter off and running for real in this football game, on their way to a 28-0 win over Woodville. This year, Gunter looking to join rarefied air as just the 5th program in state history to win 4 titles in a row. One of the programs who's done it is Celina. Not recently, that was back 98 to 2001, but they won it all last December with that young man, Bo Bentley, that we'll tell you a lot about tonight. At the helm, their 9th state championship in program history last December, moving them into a tie for 3rd most in state history. Bentley to Colton Rodriguez, here a 50-yard touchdown. They'd hook up again just after halftime for a 63-yard score to make it 34-14. This game was a game for a while. And then Celina just hit the gas. The pick 6 here by Luke Biagini, who was the defensive MVP in this game. And Celina rolled right away from Kilgore for a 55-21 win, a 16-0 championship season for the Celina Bobcats. But Heckma Harrison, it is a different year for both of these programs. They both have to reload this year.
And I think you're looking at 2 teams that get it done the right way, and they're known for winning titles. This matchup is really just a display of all of that excellence. Look, let's start with Gunter. And Gunter is a small town, but they are a championship town full of hard-working, hard-nosed people. Yep. That's what they established this whole culture based off of, is getting it done. And the football team pretty much oozes with that confidence. Celina time. Everybody knows what they're known for. Tough, hard-nosed, gritty team as well, and known for winning. This is just a clash of titans.
One of the title towns of Texas, Celina, for sure. Let's get you to our players to watch for tonight, because as much as both teams are reloading, they do have some dudes back. And this guy is one of the premier dudes in the entire state. Heck, maybe the single best football player we see all year on Friday Night Football. Bo Bentley is an absolute superstar.
Here's the deal. In our business, Mike, we do a lot of comps, and that's comparing players. There is no comparing with Bo Bentley. He is one of one, and that's why he wears number 1. He is, man, the University of Oklahoma is getting a stud. We use the word dog way too much. This kid's a stud. I mean, he gets it done at every level. At 6'3", 200 pounds, he has a cannon for an arm, but if you make him run, he can get it done with his feet as well.
4-star prospect, you mentioned, committed to Oklahoma, the number 8 ranked quarterback in the country according to 24/7 Sports. He is sensational. Meanwhile, for Gunter, their star running back Jay Campiti, he's been important for them the last couple of years. This year, he's the guy.
He's their tough guy. He is the guy that they get behind. He is a jiu-jitsu master, a boxing guy. He does it all. Their identity goes through him. No one is picking on this kid, all right? Tough, hard-nosed, last year playing defensive end, as you mentioned. Look, everything that they do is going to be behind number 3.
We talked with their head coach, Jordan Gill, earlier this week, and he said of Jay Campiti, nobody wants to get on Jay Campiti's bad side. Yeah, He's the kind of guy you bring with you to the alley. You ever got in a fight at the bar? You want this jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, he's done it all.
Rugby.
That guy can scrap if it really comes right down to it, and he can play some serious football as well. Both of these programs are used to setting the standard. They are the standard in their respective classifications. This is a different ask for Gunter tonight. They're punching up a couple of weight classes. They're 3A Division II. Their enrollment this time around was 363. Celina's is 1177. They're about 3 times as big, more than 3 times as big as Gunter is. But there's no back down in Jordan Gill's team.
No, not even for a second thought. They love the challenge of punching up, and they think they have a puncher's chance in this game as well. They feel like, look, they have the guys and they have the scheme. Now, the thing for them is they're going to have to stay committed to that for 4 quarters.
That's going to be the hard thing, is staying on exactly what they want to do offensively. And Jordan Gill said, listen, we're going to utilize this game as best we can to see what we can do against a team in Celina that is almost assuredly the best team they will face all season long. They're going to face some really good teams come playoff time. Canadians out there waiting. There's some really good programs in 3A Division II that they're going to have to work their way through. But all of them may not be quite as good as this Celina team, so this is a really, really good test for the Gunter Tigers, and I think it's a good test for Celina as well. Bill Elliott said when you play a team like this that knows how to win, they're never going to say die. They're never going to back down from anything, and that's a really good test for any program to have to go up against that kind of will.
Yeah, and Celina is not underestimating them by a long shot.
No.
They understand that they have to come into this game and stick to their guns as well and be really assignment sound because of the kind of offense that Gunter runs. It is difficult for any team to try and mimic that throughout the week. So that's the one thing that I'm going to be paying attention to immediately is their ability to stop the run of Gunter.
These two teams had not played since 1999 prior to last year's game, a 38-7 Celina win. And it was interesting in talking with Bill Elliott about how this game came to be again. And listen, these are 2 towns that are separated by 7 miles, 2 schools that are separated by 7 miles. They are neighboring towns. People talk.
Yes.
When you got the success that the Gunter program has had the last couple of years, 3 straight state championships for Gunter, 5 over the course of the last decade, people talk. And he said there were some folks in Gunter that wanted to say, I'll bet you we could go down there and beat Celina a couple divisions bigger than us. And I loved the line from Bill Elliott when we talked to him this week. He said, I decided to give him a chance.
That's right.
You want your shot? Here's your shot.
Here it is. All right. You come for the king. You better not miss. And that is this game right here. They expect to get their best shot, get Gunter's best shot. Man, I loved our interview with Coach Bill Elliott. I'm telling you, he's the kind of guy you have a conversation with. He is like pre-workout. You got to go work out after having the conversation with him.
That's exactly right. If I was just inferring what's happening here correctly, it looks like Celina won the toss and deferred. So it's going to be Gunter football first as the captains shake hands, and we are about ready to get underway here in Melissa. They are going to do a moment of silence here before the game, and we will keep it here for that. They're going to do a moment of silence for the 24th anniversary of September 11th, and they will also do a moment of silence for the legendary head football coach at Celina, G.A. Moore, who passed away just 1 week ago tonight.
On September 11th, 2001, terrorists attacked the United States, targeting the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and crashing a 4th plane in Pennsylvania. Nearly 3,000 lives were lost in the attacks, which included hundreds of first responders, military personnel, and innocent civilians. One of the worst days in America's history, saw some of the bravest acts in American history. I pray your heart is challenged and softened as we continue to deal with acts of terrorism, both foreign and domestic. I petition you to mourn with those who mourn, and I pray we honor and remember the bravery and loss of many. And now, just a quick moment of silence. Ladies and gentlemen, we also want to acknowledge the loss of Celina legend G.A. Moore. The late great Billy Graham once said that a coach will impact more people in a year than the average person will in a lifetime. I couldn't say truer than Coach Moore. Coach Moore had a profound influence on so many people. Recognizing it is both a significant privilege and a considerable responsibility. His greatest victories were found on the scoreboard. They were found in the lives of the young men he shaped, teaching them the value of hard work, discipline, faith, and heart. For so many, Coach Moore was a role model who believed in him, pushed them to be the best, and inspired them far beyond the football field. And if we could, another moment of silence in memory of G.A. Moore. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
We will talk an awful lot more about G.A. Moore throughout the course of the night when we return. Kickoff here in Melissa, Celina and Gunter on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil.
A big crowd expected tonight for a battle of neighboring towns at Melissa's 10,000-seat Kenny Deal Stadium. The site tonight is Celina and Gunter. Square off. Again, Gunter football to start the game, so we will see Knox Gage and the Gunter Tigers offense here in a matter of moments. Celina set to kick it away. Jordan Gill in his first year as the head coach of the Gunter Tigers. Celina looking to repeat as champs. Gunter looking for a 4th straight state championship. Benji Rodriguez, Jay Campiti, Cole Bolt deep to return for Gunter. Jax Holt to kick it away for Celina. There are over 1,500 Texas high school football programs statewide. Only 30 have won more than 5 state titles. Less than 2%, 2 of them on the field tonight here in Melissa, and a short kickoff that has to be fielded by Gunter and only just barely is at the 25-yard line. Nearly disaster for Gunter on the opening kickoff, but a nice job by Cole Bolt to get on top of it.
I don't know if Coach Gill wants a close call like that to start this game, because it absolutely was. The ball checks up at the 25, but that is a live ball, and you have to make sure that you get on top of it. But, Mike, look at this stadium, and I think they made the right decision moving into Melissa.
Nice crowd already on hand, and more people pouring in as Knox Gage, the sophomore starting quarterback for the Gunter Tigers, 5'11", 165, already just 2 games into his career, drawing comparisons to Walker Overman, the stud who led Gunter a couple years ago. He'll go to the air on the first play of the game and bowling his way through a tackler. Jay Campiti picking up a nice chunk of yards on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, we talked about him being a tough guy. I didn't think we'd see it on display right here in the first drive. And I didn't think they'd come out throwing the ball either. So how about that for a surprise?
I didn't expect that either. Now they'll run the football with Campiti up the middle for a couple. He may have only gotten a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 2. In fact, no gain on the play.
And I think for Gunter, Mike, it's going to be one in the trenches. If they can pull this off tonight against Celina, that offensive line is going to have to get the game ball.
They'll go to the air again. Pass over the middle, knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It's Cameron Lucas that knocked it away.
And great job by the 6'2", 250-pound Cameron Lucas, who's coming up from his D tackle position. You see him right there, number 23. They call him the little Aaron Donald.
Yes.
I didn't know how to take that. When you call somebody a little Aaron Donald, that's high praise.
Extremely high praise. My eyes bugged out when Bill Elliott said that to us earlier this week. 6'2", 250-pound all-state defensive tackle for Celina. Knocks it away on 3rd down and forces the punt. A line drive punt up the near sideline that will run out of bounds after a 25-yard punt. Good field position for Bo Bentley and the Celina Bobcats. They'll get to work knocking on the door of plus territory.
Yeah, so for all you University of Texas fans, it is time to make sure you get the scouting report going early on number 1.
Bo Bentley, the senior, on his way to Oklahoma. 4-star product. Bill Elliott told us earlier this week that Seth Parr, the Anna head coach, told him over the summer, Coach, he's gotten better. And he'll run it here on the first play of the game, run out of bounds. A gain of maybe 2.
And I think to their surprise, they're like, how can it be that he's gotten better, because he's already so good?
Give him 4 on the carry, 2nd down and 6. Bentley was at the Elite 11 camp over the summer, and if you know anything about the Elite 11 camp, that is as good as it gets. The run here for Logan Gutierrez picks up 8 and a 1st down, and they are into Gunter territory in a minute and a half into the football game.
Yeah, and that's just the thing with the way that they operate. You got to keep an eye and a spy on Bo Bentley, but the rest of these guys get to eat because of it.
Gutierrez, all-stater himself. Nice run here, tripped up just inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the size of Logan Gutierrez, 5'9", 180 pounds. He is a scat back and a guy that can get out the back door and completely lose you.
2nd and 4, Gutierrez again. He'll be short of the line to gain, call it 3rd and a yard. Celina won their 9th state championship in program history back in December. The first, though, under head coach Bill Elliott. Now they're saying 1st down, and they'll move the chains. It looked like he was short. They've now adjusted the spot of the football, and based on that spot, yes, it would be a 1st down. So 1st and 10 at the 35 in Gunter territory, and Bentley to the air for the first time. Near side, complete, right on the money. A pickup of 8 to Julian Mayfield.
And you see right here, Julian Mayfield, the senior, easy one for him. But that's just one of those long handoffs, another way for them to extend this drive.
Gutierrez again, up the middle. plowing forward, and with the leg drive, he'll have enough for a first down inside the 25, give him 5 on the carry. Gutierrez leads North Texas amongst 4A and 3A rushers, over 300 yards coming into this game in just the first 2 weeks of the season, and he's gotten off to a nice start tonight.
And he's running right into the teeth of the defense as well. So, like I said, don't let the size fool you. He's a tough guy, but also he's got some fast feet on him.
He has been an impact player for them each of the last 3 seasons. 1st and 10, Bentley over the middle. Right on target for Brody Gunn inside the 10, 1st and goal.
Let's just talk about the job that his front 5 is doing. Look at these guys walling them out, walling them off up front, and just keeping Bo Bentley clean. He had all day.
Bentley, QB draw, designed run, lunging, end zone, in. Celina straight down the field efficiently, and they strike early here on Friday Night Football.
Look in the middle of this offense, and you just see this entire offensive line moving the Gunter defense to the right and going right behind Ace Draper, his center. Man, you can't go wrong. Big body like that, and he is moving the crowd for his 4-star quarterback.
The extra point up and through from Jax Holt. A 7-0 start for Celina. Bo Bentley and the Celina Bobcats, 2 minutes and 11 seconds with the football, and they're in the end zone on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Duncan.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
.849 in the first, and Celina is already on the board. A 3-and-out. The knockdown by Cam Lucas, ending that first Gunter possession, and Bo Bentley leading his team right down the football field. And they lead at 7-0 as that kickoff is into the end zone, courtesy of Jax Holt. And it will come out to the 25.
Well, you got to answer. If you are Gunter, you got to, as the Tigers offense, look, they are trying to get something going here, but the way that Celina came out in that first drive, the Bobcats are just like, look, we're going to attack you in the middle of your defense and just force you guys to try and gang tackle in the middle. And when you do that, we'll start attacking you on the edges. So This is a pick your poison kind of game if you are the Gunter Tigers.
Gunter averaging nearly 39 points per game this season. A flexbone offense, but they like to consider themselves a mutt. They'll run a little bit of everything, and it's a 3-wide receiver set here on the first play, but a handoff to Campiti, and he'll fall forward for 2. The 3-time defending 3A Division II state champions, replacing a lot of talent from last year, Heckma, but they do like the new crop coming in. Their sophomore class in particular looks really sharp.
Yeah, and you said it in the open about these 2 squads reloading, and that's what they're going to do. Under Coach Gill, man, when we got an opportunity to talk with him, his whole thing was about, look, I'm just with these guys. I'm instilling all these principles in these guys, and we have to continue our winning ways. Nothing is going to change about the way that the Tigers present themselves and execute on game day.
That's Luke Biagini, the senior linebacker that was down after the play, not putting any weight on that right leg. A nice round of applause from the Celina crowd, but that's the last kid that you'd want to see hurt if you are Bill Elliott. You hope that it's just a cramp, and at first I thought that was all that it was, but he stayed down for longer than I expected and hobbling off now with the help of the athletic training staff. Certainly hope that he will be okay, because he is a hugely, hugely important piece for this Celina team. Again, the defensive MVP a year ago.
Yeah, a former quarterback and just super athletic guy. They cannot afford to lose him.
There you see Bill Elliott on your screen, the head coach of the Celina Bobcats. Got his title last year. He's been part of this program for a very long time. Knox Gage trying to get out the back door. He nearly did. Good job to cancel that out by Jacob Brown. If Brown wasn't there, Gage had a ton of running room.
Yeah, he really did. And the way that Brown chases that down, Knox Gage thought he had an opportunity to escape on the outside. Great job of sealing the containment for the Bobcats.
3rd and 8, Campiti's got room. Campiti's got a lot of room across midfield in a foot race. 3 Bobcats trying to chase him down. Campiti inside the 5. Maddox McCoy chasing him down from behind, but a 71-yard pickup for Jay Campiti.
And collectively, the Bobcats are holding their breath, but Campiti, he is in a foot race, and boy, he came so close to breaking this one off to the house.
Maddox McCoy able to just barely track him down from behind. LJ Taylor was giving chase as well. But the Gunter Tigers with an opportunity here to answer Celina's early score. Down to 5 seconds on the play clock, and it looks like Jordan Gill may use a timeout here, and he will.
Timeout. Gunner. First charge timeout of the half.
I don't know about you, Mike, but I love this 7:30 start. It's a little unusual for us.
So it's going to be 1st and goal. Yeah, these 7:30 starts are it's different for us. It's kind of nice. 1st and goal from the 2 here as Jordan Gill talks to his team. Gill took over as the head coach in the offseason after the resignation of Jake Feazell. He was the offensive coordinator for a long stretch. He's also the son of a longtime coach, Eddie Gill, who spent the majority of his career at Whitesboro. Now he gets the opportunity to lead this Gunter program. And out of the pistol here on 1st and goal with Campiti right behind Knox Gage, they're going to try and punch this thing in. Gage himself to the end zone. Gunter barks back.
And Mike, you got to look at this excellent lead block here by Jay Campiti, coming right down the nose and giving him just enough space for Knox Gage to break this game even. That is a great response by the Gunter Tigers.
Oh, bad snap here on the PAT try. They were going to try and go for 2 and nowhere to go for Cole Bolt. So it will stay 7-6. Gunter is not able to even this thing up. But the Tigers do find the end zone just 1 minute and 9 seconds after Celina scored. So we've got ourselves a 7-6 football game. Heckma Harrison 4 minutes and 20 seconds in.
Yeah, ball game. And I like the way that Coach Gill has come out. He's really diversified his offense, opened some things up. We saw him show him the trips formation, running out of different things. We expected the flex bone offense the entire game. I liked it, like the way that he's changed some things up.
Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Brazilian flavors, Texas spirit. Enjoy the best of both worlds, where Brazilian culinary traditions meet the bold flavors of Texas. Come for the food, stay for the adventure. So it was a really good start for Celina. Got the 3 and out, drove right down the field and scored a touchdown, and it kind of looked like this game may immediately follow the trend of last year's game, a 38-7 Celina win, but a really big answer from the Gunter Tigers. Jay Campiti doing it in both ways. First, the big 71-yard run, then the lead block, as you alluded to, for Knox Gage to get into the end zone, and we've got ourselves a 1-point football game.
Yeah, I'm sure they scouted Campiti all week. And, man, to see this guy live and see how violently he runs, I'm sure that's a bit different.
Maddox McCoy run out of bounds as flags fly in all over the place. 3 different flags fly in at the tail end of that return from McCoy. The preliminary signal was hold. I think they might be making sure that all 3 of the flags were for that hold.
Number.
Yes.
Receiving team, number 47. 10-yard penalty for spot of foul. First down.
So it is indeed a hold against Celina, so that will eat into the return of Maddox McCoy and change field position a bit for Bo Bentley and the Celina Bobcats.
No problems with the microphones here at Kenny Dills Stadium.
No, crystal clear. So they'll start at the 25. Bentley with 2 wides to his right side, protected well and complete for Mayfield, and Mayfield turns and has running room. Breaking a tackle, it's L.J. Taylor into Gunter territory in one snap of the football, a pickup of 31.
You know, you talk about the Elite 11 invite for Bo Bentley, but you see it right there. This just is on the numbers, man. It hits his wide receiver in the hands. Easy ball for number 2.
Quick snap here. The handoff for Gutierrez, and he pushes his way forward for 7 more. It's Gunter that is the team that is more prone to snap the ball quickly. Bill Elliott talked about that over the course of this week, that, hey, every 14 seconds they're trying to snap the football again. Celina going quick here. 2nd and 3 over the middle. Another good strike over the middle by Bentley for 25 more, and it's first down inside the 15.
Boy, the Tigers are going to have to start with some type of pressure on Bentley. If he's sitting back there comfortable like that, he's going to be able to pick them apart.
They'll spot it right at the 10. It's 1st and goal. Gutierrez with a big chasm right up the middle. Logan Gutierrez into the end zone. Touchdown, Celina.
This offensive line for the Bobcats, look at the push that they're getting. You just see those black jerseys going backwards, and that is a big-time difference in this game. Just not allowing that penetration from the guys in black.
And this is the Celina offensive line that is replacing all 5 starters from a year ago. Bill Elliott's got to like what he's seen from that group so far. Flags at the snap here on the PAT. We'll see if this is on Celina or Gunter. About 800 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the subscribe button, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from tonight. If you got a favorite player on one of these 2 teams.
Delay a game defense. Half the distance to the goal. Retry.
Looks like Celina is not intent on taking advantage of that penalty. They'll still keep the PAT unit out there and just try it from a couple steps closer here for Jax Holt. A lot of times you'll see teams go for 2 when they get that 1.5-yard gift. But Holt with the PAT, line drive right through, and it's 14-6 Celina. Both offenses getting things rolling. Heckma here in the early going. We're not even to the midway point of the first quarter.
But that was a great answer, though, coming right out for the Bobcats. They had to. The momentum had swung the other way for the Tigers, and Bo Bentley, as cool and calm, as collected as he can, comes out and just throws strikes. And when they get in scoring distance, he turns right around and gives the ball to Logan Gutierrez. Great execution on these first 2 drives for the OU commit.
Took him just 48 seconds to answer back a 4-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. Logan Gutierrez, 6 carries, 40 yards, and the touchdown already. Bo Bentley with a 6-yard touchdown run to get things started for Celina, and they lead at 14-6 midway through this first quarter.
Well, let's see if the Tigers have an answer. They came out immediately, get the ball, put the ball in the navel of Jake Campiti, allows him to break off a long run. They're going to have to get behind Knox Gage as well. He's tried to make some throws offensively. Again, sticking to their guns, staying committed. This is going to be, obviously football is 4 quarters, not to be wax poetic, but still, you have to stick to your guns if you're the Tigers.
From the 9-yard line, waiting for a crease and hitting that crease and hurtling over the 30-yard line on that far side is Cole Bolt. A nice return for the sophomore Bolt. And it'll be good for field position here for Knox Gage and company.
Yeah, great return, and we saw that first kickoff where the ball was put into harm's way at the 25. And now these guys are trying to change field position.
So you wonder now, does Gunter look to slow things down at all? With as effective as Celina has been offensively, both possessions very quickly right down the field. If you are Jordan Gill, the head coach for the Gunter Tigers, do you try to have a more methodical drive? This, I mean, not that you're ever going to say no to a 71-yard run from Jay Campiti, but is that part of the game plan perhaps tonight for Gunter to try and hang around and be in a game where they've got an opportunity late tonight? They'll go to the air. Gage can't get out. Down he goes. Jackson Matlock there to finish him off, but he was surrounded by white jerseys.
Yeah, and that's the thing about trying to grind out with this with this Celina Bobcats defense. Now they're looking at this lead, they're pinning their ears back, and look, they want to get a 3 and out so they can get their offense back on the field. But I like the thought process, Mike. I really do. When you have a defense that's coming after you, you see number 5, Jackson Maddox, he's set up on the outside now.
2nd and 15 after the sack. Gage looking for somewhere to go. Stood on his feet for an extra beat, but only able to get about 1.5 yards or 2. And it's going to be 3rd down and 13. Knox Gage is a terrific athlete, but as their head coach Jordan Gill told us this week, he's a football player. He's not really a quarterback. Very similar to Walker Overman, and he was extremely praiseful, if you will, of Knox Gage and all the things that are in front of this young man, only a sophomore. But he's an athlete. He's a fantastic athlete. 3rd and 13 may not be his wheelhouse, so we'll see what they draw up here. They fake the screen. Gage trying to get out the back door. Did a nice job to make the first man miss, but cannot make the second man miss. L.J. Taylor held on for the tackle. Gage able to get back beyond the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 4th down and 8. And Gunter will have to punt it away.
And that's what I point out about this Bobcats defense. You got guys on the outside like Jackson Maddox, and they're trying to do a good job of chipping on him. But, man, they are putting a lot of pressure on this quarterback, Knox Gage. And as you're complimenting him, but also just saying, look, he's an athlete. His IQ is going to have to go up a lot
that went
further.
right into the back of one of his offensive linemen, and it's going to be about a 4-yard punt.
Yeah. I don't think that was the way that was designed.
No.
Won't you do it like that?
Officially a 6-yard punt. Right off the shoulder of one of the blockers in front. And downed by Chris Grimaldo, who's a stud, by the way. Keep an eye on number 90 when Gunter's on defense, the defensive end. 6 foot, 222 pounds, really, really talented sophomore already with some Power 5 offers rolling in. But it is plus territory for Celina at the 49 in Gunter territory as they take over 1st and 10. Bentley up the seam. What a catch! Hauled in by Wyatt Villarreal. 1st down Celina, pickup of 28.
I mean, and this is a ball that probably just whizzes past the ear of the defender. But, man, on the money. Overthrows, underthrows, we've seen none of that here from Bo Bentley.
Gutierrez makes 2 men miss. Logan Gutierrez still on his feet inside the 10. 1st and goal, Celina in a blink.
I'm just going to say that the first guy is always going to miss Gutierrez. Look at this going to the right. Oh, you thought you had me. You thought you had me, and you as well.
Man, what a run by Gutierrez. And it's 1st and goal. And now Bentley on the QB draw to the 5.
I tell you what, man, those Oklahoma wide receivers are licking their chops right now.
Right?
I can't wait to this. No, don't even worry about graduation. We'll drive you back for graduation. You got to get here in the spring. You graduate on Christmas Day. We need you here January 1st.
They've got themselves a quarterback right now.
I know they do.
The kid out of Little Elm.
No, he's pretty good.
That's going to be a false start on Celina. Dylan Goodson, the sophomore right tackle.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Here's first down.
Second down, in fact. It'll be second and goal. It'll come back to the 10-yard stripe. Michael Hall in the YouTube comments says Logan Gutierrez is a freaking stud. One of our favorites, a regular viewer here on Friday Night Football. Second and 10. Play action for Bentley. Chased, throws, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Witten Overman, the sophomore. Down the sideline. Walker's little brother lost the football. Pounced on by Gunter. Johnny on the spot for the recovery is Hayden Nelson. And Witten Overman with a 51-yard return on the pick. And Gunter has changed this game with a big play.
I said it earlier that the Tigers have to present some pressure because Bentley is too comfortable back there. You see them lunging at those legs, and he is throwing that ball off balance into the hands of a defender, and Witten Overman, he does the rest. He has a convoy of blockers. You are supposed to take that to the house. Defensive guys live for moments like that, Mike. I'm telling you, you got 5-6 guys in front of you. Just be patient. Walk it down, walk it into the end zone, young man, but great interception.
Witten Overman, the little brother of Walker and Easton Overman. Walker Overman, the quarterback here at Gunter a couple of years in a row. The first two of their 3 state championship seasons of this three-peat that they're on right now. Now Bentley fakes the pitch, keeps it himself right into the teeth of the defense, and Carter Lorick says, no, sir.
Yeah, and Campiti probably would have been his best option for the pitch. But again, Knox Gage, just an athlete, a guy that's willing to compete, running right into the teeth of this Bobcats defense. And what a momentum swing that was.
Huge. John Lasker in the YouTube comments says all of his throws were dimes except for that one.
Yes.
And he's right. I mean, that's perhaps instructive for Gunter and their defensive coordinator, Casey Frost. Maybe they need to bring more heat on Bo Bentley and try and disrupt him. Gage with nowhere to go. They can't get enough push up front to create some spaces for their running game.
Man, they are hoping that they are having eyes for Campiti, and Knox Gage trying to bust this thing up the middle, but he is not getting anywhere. Cameron Lucas right now is just causing a traffic jam.
So it's 3rd and 9. They've got to get to the 32 to move the chains. Do they go to the air here with Knox Gage? 3 wide receivers to the left. No, he'll follow Campiti. Breaks a couple of tackles and did a nice job to make 4th down a little bit more of a consideration here for Jordan Gill. They'll spot it right at the 35. It's going to be 4th and 3.
Well, they spotted. I thought he got a little bit further than that, but great spot by the officials. Maybe this is the down that they try and discover their passing game.
We want to take a moment because we lost one of the titans of Texas high school football 1 week ago tonight. The great G.A. Moore, who won 8 state championships in his storied career and retired as the all-time winningest coach in state history with 426 wins. He passed away, fittingly, on a Texas high school football Friday, September 5th, at 86 years old. Among his 8 titles, 6 at Celina, 4 straight from 1998 to 2001, and the first 57 of their record 68-game winning streak. There are legends, and then there's G.A. Moore. And G.A. Moore, Heckma, hired Bill Elliott here at Celina 32 years ago to be the offensive line coach. Now Elliott, the head coach, as he watches this 4th and 4, the throw near side, in and out of the hands of his intended target, incomplete, looking for Jay Campiti, and Celina gets the defensive stop. And Celina will take over on downs. Campiti had a chance at it, couldn't quite hang on.
Yeah, and he looked for it late. He looked for it late, and that ball just rolls right out of his arms with an opportunity there for the Tigers. Missed after that big-time turnover.
The interception from Witten Overman does not lead to points for the Gunter Tigers. Big play to kind of stop the momentum of Celina for sure, but they would have loved to pay that off with points. Instead, a 4th and 3 stop, and back comes Bo Bentley on the quarterback draw, lowers his shoulder for 7.
You think Bo's a little ticked off about that?
Right.
Because John in the comments, he mentioned it. He said, man, he's been throwing dimes this entire game, but that one on the turnover, that was probably the one ball that he wished that he had back. And I will attribute that to the pressure that the Tigers put on him and the blitz being at his legs. He didn't have an opportunity to set his feet before he made that throw.
2nd down and 3 as we tick into the final minute of this first quarter. Gutierrez to the sideline. He will have enough for the first down. Give you a look at the all-time winningest coaches in Texas high school football history. There is G.A. Moore on that list again, retired as the all-time leader, 426 wins. Randy Allen, Phil Danaher, both eventually passed him, but one of the all-time legends, Heckma, and when he passed away a week ago, about 3 or 4 o'clock Friday afternoon last week, that news started to trickle out, and it's something that really made an impact on Bill Elliott. His passing, as well as this play, does have a flag down. Deep ball for L.J. Taylor, complete for the touchdown, but the flag back at the 43 already being preliminarily signaled as a hold against Celina, and it's all coming back.
It looked like a busted play right from the beginning with the fumble snap, but man, that's another one slipping out of the hands of the Bobcats.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
And Mike, when our conversation with Coach Elliott, he talked about all the guys that have played a role in his career.
Yeah.
Elliott's coached for 32 years, and man, you don't get to 32 years without having some mentors and some guys that have had great impact on you. And he said it, man, Coach Moore was the most impactful in his life and in his career. Great man, one of the titans of Texas high school football.
Bill Elliott coached under G.A. Moore. Moore hired him as the offensive line coach 32 years ago. He also coached under Butch Ford, who won titles here. Flag on the play, maybe a free play here for Bentley as he completes it on the near side. That'll get him back to the original line of scrimmage. Walker Grubbs on the reception. I imagine Celina is going to want to take the result of the play and take 2nd and 10 instead of 1st and 15.
Tell you, this Bo Bentley has some big old guys out here as targets. Walker Grubbs, 6'4", 190. Wyatt Villarreal, 6'5", 217.
On his way to Pitt.
Yeah.
3-star stud tight end.
He's got hands to go with him, too.
We saw that on the ball up the seam on that last possession.
That's why Pitt's so excited about him.
Encroachment. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
They took the penalty?
Interesting. They'll take 1st and 15 instead of 2nd and 10. They choose the down over the extra 5 yards.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that.
Okay.
I'm a little surprised by that choice. That will be, it appears, the final play of this opening period. Celina with a 14-6 lead at the first quarter break. Bo Bentley and Logan Gutierrez with touchdown runs. Knox Gage with the answer for Gunter. A big interception by Witten Overman as well. And Celina leads it by 8 after 1 on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Back in Melissa, second quarter ready to get underway. Next week on Friday Night Football, this one should be fantastic. The number one team in the state in 6A, the South Lake Carroll Dragons, who lost last year in the 6A D2 title game against Euless Trinity. That game, very likely anyway, tantamount to a district championship game. Those are the two best teams in that district meeting up early on in the season. Next week, 7 o'clock, right here on WFAA Plus and the WFAA YouTube channel. So to start the second quarter, Celina with the football. Couple of touchdown drives already on the day, but the pick as well for Bo Bentley. As Witten Overman, the sophomore, picked him off in the red zone. Now 1st and 15 after they took the penalty. Whistles before they can start this second quarter. It's not abundantly clear what the issue is. Our umpire is directing traffic. Bill Elliott halfway out on the field hollering to somebody. I'm not sure if it's to the official or one of his players.
Well, the Bobcats start to, I thought they started to back up. There's the end of the quarter, ball spotted. Maybe he's arguing
Did they get
the point on the
spot of the ball wrong?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Our statistician Robert Walton is saying that he had it at the 43-yard line. It did kind of sound like Bill Elliott hollered something about 43, so that would make some sense. I'm blinking back on our footage just to see. And based on that, on our footage as I blink back, that looks like the 42 is where the ball was. So I think the officials do have it correct based on where the football was to end the first quarter as I go back in time on our YouTube feed.
Well, maybe they're talking about taking the penalty versus the yards on the catch.
Yeah, maybe the quarter break gave Bill Elliott an opportunity to rethink that decision. Umpire pointing to the far sideline, Bill Elliott being ushered off the field by our field judge. Nothing's going to change. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 42. Bentley in and out of the hands of his intended target, Walker Grubbs, and it's going to be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, and I think for the Tigers, they're just going to have to throw caution to the wind defensively and start to try and dial some blitzes up because they're just getting eaten alive on the back half of their defense right now. He is throwing into some really tight windows.
Gunter able to get back. Grayson Pilkington jumping back to his side of the neutral zone. No flag. 2nd and 15. Handoff for Gutierrez up the middle. Able to plunge his way back to the original line of scrimmage, but it'll be 3rd and 10.
I think this is slowly but surely offensively here for the Bobcats.
We've seen pressure work already today for Gunter. Heckman, do you bring it here on 3rd and 10?
I have to. I live and die by putting pressure on Bentley.
Only 4 rushers and only 3 actually come. Throw near side. Villarreal has the catch, but he won't have the first down. Taken down at the 47-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 4.
Boy, and it looked like he initially had it, but he came back to the ball. As we see here on the replay, talk about the Pittsburgh commit, Villarreal working back, but again, losing those yards.
Bo Bentley is still on the field, but he will sometimes quick kick it. We'll see whether or not Celina decides to actually go for it here. And exactly that. Bo Bentley's going to take another step back. And the senior quarterback will punt it away. Oh, checks up for him. Oh, it almost stayed out of the end zone for Bo Bentley. But it's a touchback, and Gunter gets a defensive stop that they needed badly.
It's like, man, this guy has all the goods. He checks that thing up like a good pitching wedge. Like, come on now. He's got all the things going for him here. And look, how big will the score be right here for the Tigers? I think defensively, them getting the stop right there had to be huge for their ego. Bill Elliott's not letting it go.
Pleading his case. I do still think, I just trying to read lips and what he's communicating about. I think that is still talking about the line of scrimmage being the 42 versus the 43 at the start of the second quarter, rather. But Gunter's defense makes the stop. The touchback brings it to the 20, and back out comes Knox Gage in this Tigers offense. Can they move some bodies up front? That has been hard to do so far.
At this wide trips formation.
Gage dragging a tackler. Now the push from his offensive line out to the 34. A 14-yard pickup on the first play of the possession for Knox Gage, the sophomore.
Get it done how you can. Quick back to the line of scrimmage.
Very quickly. This is what Bill Elliott was concerned about, how quickly they will snap the ball. Campiti fights his way forward for a yard. Bill Elliott said, hey, they're trying to snap it every 14 seconds. He said they were working on this with their JVs that run the scout team for them all week long. Both the looks that they'll get from Gunter from a flex bone perspective and all the different offensive looks they'll give you, but also the pace as much as they could to try and be ready for tonight.
The Bobcats defense will be glad when this game is over. They've been doing homework all week on the Tigers offense.
Gage has got two wides to either side here. Looks like Gunter's trying to spread him out as best they can. Gage has got to make the first man miss, and he can't. Nice tackle by Case Chelf.
Well, that's just a good read right there from Chelf from the outside. Like, he is just making sure that he doesn't lose contain, but he knows that he has to get Knox Gage on the ground. If he misses that tackle, there is an HOV lane waiting for Gage.
Instead, 3rd and 11 after a loss of 3. They have to get to the 44 to move the chains. Gage, protected, fires near side, single coverage, knocked away. Julian Mayfield there in coverage, and it's 4th down.
And that's an easy one for Mayfield. He's just playing coverage, everything to the boundary, reading the wide receiver. And again, you can't draw it up any better than that for your DB. He is assignment sound. Again, playing everything to the boundary.
Looking for Reese Danowski, the junior tight end. Big-bodied kid. They like what he can do. But good coverage there by Mayfield. Gage to punt it away. Much better punt this time than last time, but it does hop out of bounds. That actually checked up and managed to stay in somehow. A punt of 26. And back to work goes Bo Bentley. Again, this young man, a 4-star prospect, went to the Elite 11 camp. And if you're not a big football fan, you may not have heard of that. But if you care about football, you should.
You know
that is as good as it gets for the quarterback position. A quarterback-specific camp that they hold every summer for the 20 best quarterbacks in the country, and then of those 20, they will assign an Elite 11 MVP and then 11 more that qualify as the Elite 11. Bo Bentley was one of those 11. Didn't win MVP, but he was one of those 11. That's a pretty elite classification of kids to be in. This kid's for real.
And you got to tell them the alumni that's on that list.
Goodness.
It's a who's who list of
it's outrageous
NFL and college players. That's that have been invited to that camp.
Aaron Rodgers is on that list. I think Jared Goff is on that list. Caleb Williams, the Heisman winner and Chicago Bears quarterback, is on that list. Matthew Stafford, Highland Park kid from right here in DFW, was part of that camp 20 years ago.
C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud's another one of recent vintage. Yeah, it's everybody that you can think of. Big time quarterbacks, and that's the company this young man keeps. Nice throw on the near side, nearly intercepted. Incomplete. L.J. Taylor almost caught that football through the defense of Grayson Pilkington.
Yeah, Pilkington's coming over the top, over the back here of L.J. Taylor, and I thought that was a completed pass because he threaded the needle to get that one inside. But
defense number 11.
A holding penalty.
Should be an automatic first down as well.
Yes, it should.
They didn't announce that part. It won't matter. The yardage was enough to grant a first down. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 45. Beg your pardon, it was Tristan Barton, 27, not 24, in coverage downfield. Did a nice job against L.J. Taylor to knock that ball away. But the penalty gives Celina a first down and possession in Gunter territory. Pressure up the middle. Bentley able to get away. Can he get away again? No. Ended at the 46-yard line. And the Gunter defense is starting to feel themselves a little bit, Heckma Harrison. There's some momentum building for that Tigers unit.
Yeah, I said it before. You have to put pressure on this kid. You can't allow him to sit back and be, just survey the field and pick you apart. He's been able to do that 54 yards here right away to Villarreal, and he is just finding his guys down the field. Pressure is important to make him think about it.
A loss of 11, and it's 2nd and 21. They've got Villarreal bracketed on the near side. Now they'll come off of that. Handoff for Gutierrez. Stacked up. Benji Rodriguez came in to help finish him off. Only a gain of 2. It's going to be 3rd and very long. I loved what Jordan Gill said this week about Bo Bentley. He said, listen, there's no way to stop him. You just have to try and contain him. But he said, we're not scared of anybody. We're not worried about any of that. We don't care who it is. We're going to get after it, because how cool would it be to go make a play against this kid?
No, Mike. Say exactly what he said. The only way to stop him is hit him over his head with a golf club in his sleep. That's what he said. Those were his exact words. That's how you stop him.
He was kidding, for the record.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I think he was actually talking about a line that he heard from a colleague of his about a different kid in the past. The only way to do it is when he falls asleep, come up with a golf club. Look at Bo Bentley on 3rd and 19. He says, I got your golf club right here. First down and a pickup of 22.
And he points to the first down. What a run by Bo Bentley. He's just sick of being flushed out of the pocket, and he takes matters into his own hands and finishes off with a little bit of sugar.
Yes, he did. Knocked the helmet right off the defender. The hat of Tristan Barton went flying down the sideline. Bo Bentley said, I can do more than just spin it.
Brent Venables is saying, please, not your shoulder, son.
Right.
Not your shoulder. Just step out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the 31 after what was 3rd and 19. And now a completion here to Villarreal.
I like this kid.
Who will lean forward to the 32.
Can you just imagine? This kid is 6'5", 217. He's going to get to Pittsburgh, and he's going to get those brats. Right. He'll put on about 50 more pounds.
2nd and 2. Bentley, QB draw. First down and then some. And Bentley tight ropes the sideline to score. There is a flag down behind the play right near the line of scrimmage. And it looks like this is coming back on a hold.
This is the 2nd holding penalty that has taken points off the board for the Bobcats.
The Gunter student section getting fired up.
It's my favorite chant. You can't do that. It's always timely.
Holding. Offense number 54. 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Easton Clayton, the senior right guard, the offending party. takes a touchdown off the board midway through this second quarter and sets up 2nd down and 12.
And if you're Bo Bentley, you get that long scramble, you run for a touchdown, it's taken back, and you got to start all over again. 2nd down. This kid, what is he made of?
Play clock down to 6 as Bentley gets things organized. Down to 2. Handoff, Rodriguez. Beg your pardon, Gutierrez to the 30. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
But the Tigers have to stay committed to that pressure. And I think the first time, I don't know if I've ever seen a cornerback bracket a receiver, but literally turn his back to the offense.
Yeah.
That's respect, though.
They don't bracket him here. 3rd down and 9. They've got to get to the 21. Bentley already with one long 3rd down conversion. He's got another here to L.J. Taylor. 1st down at the 15.
Oh, that just, as a defensive coordinator, that just drives you crazy, Mike. You got 3rd and forever. You got to set up at the sticks. Don't allow them to pick up the 1st down.
Officially at the 16. Bentley flushed, throws, end zone. Incomplete, looking for Villarreal. If he had dropped that one in, heck, I was going home. That would have been an unbelievable throw.
I need you, partner. You got to stay. But that would have definitely been overwhelming, man. He is displaying that arm strength out here. But I also love what the Tigers are doing. They're like, look, if we're going to lose or win, we're going to win by presenting a ton of pressure. And that's what they're bringing it, off the edge and trying to flush Bo Bentley out.
Can Gunter figure out a way to make a stop here? Blitz up the middle. Gutierrez is going to run right by it to the end zone. Touchdown, Celina. The blitz came at the exact wrong moment. One block and Gutierrez was loose for 6.
And that's just an old school delayed draw right there. Gutierrez catches the Gunter Tigers coming up the field. And by the time Bentley hands that ball off, he's already to the 2nd level. That is a great job by the Bobcats offense by recognizing what the Tigers are wanting to do and scheming it up and drawing the right play to get into the end zone.
They're going to go for 2 here and try to establish a 16-point lead. They're going to move the football not quite to the right hash, about halfway between the middle of the field and the right hash. And Bentley will stay on the field here with 4:36 left in the half. Looking for Taylor, who was the motion man, wide open for 2 more. And it's 22-6 in favor of Celina. A more methodical drive, 9 plays, 58 yards, 4:03 off the clock for Bo Bentley and the Bobcats. And they lead by 2 full scores, a 16-point advantage for Celina on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Coming up at halftime here on Friday Night Football, the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute. performances from all 4 squads. That's a fumble on the kickoff. Pounced on by Gunter. And they will maintain possession. Nearly disaster for Jordan Gill's team.
That's the second time.
Uh-huh.
That is the second time. I don't want to call it a pooch kick, but it's just one of those kicks that stays in the air for a long time. Hard to track. They've got to get a better job on getting eyes on that ball and not losing it. That's going to be a costly turnover.
I'm Big Boy Jude in the YouTube comments tonight, asking if we could give a shout out to their dad, Leland, who played football at Celina back in the day. Appreciate you guys being with us tonight. John Lasker says y'all got the good games this season. We've been fortunate so far and fired up to see this one tonight. Excited for next week for sure. South Lake Carroll and Euless Trinity. 2 of the top 10 teams in the state in 6A. Both these programs on the field right now won championships a year ago. But Gunter's got to find a response here before halftime, because it will be Celina ball to start the 3rd quarter. And Knox Gage is going to look to go to the air. Has nowhere to go. Somebody on the near sideline said, get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
He couldn't find a place to get rid of the football. Should have just slung it out of bounds instead of a sack and a loss of 4.
Forever the athlete, and he's trying to make something happen. You can see he's directing traffic with his hands, and no one is getting open so that he can unleash. But man, the best decision would have been to throw that one away.
Gunter really could use a methodical drive here before halftime and go get points. Keep Celina's dangerous offense off the field. Gage with running room. Knox Gage makes a man miss out across the 40. Look at the sophomore go. 24 on the pickup.
Great job right here setting up his blocks, but Campiti, number 3, getting out front for him. Look at the block that he puts on number 6, Jacob Brown.
27, in fact, on the pickup.
Wow.
Gunter with 120 rushing yards so far on the day. Out to the 45-yard stripe.
But you said it earlier, man. If they could get some points out of this in the first half, that would be huge. And if nothing else, give your defense a break.
Up the middle with Campiti. Spins his way across midfield. It seems like they're doing a better job of creating some creases here in this defensive front for Celina. Hard to do. Cameron Lucas, Carter Lorick, Case Chelf, these guys are rock solid. Cameron Lucas is outstanding.
Yeah, this is a kid, number 23. You just got to combo block him. You can't do it with one guy. And that's what they were running into, the Cameron Lucas problem.
2nd down and 4. Campiti again. Not quite enough for a first down. It'll be 3rd and a yard.
And that was one where you see Campiti, he's trying to show his speed and break that to the outside, but boy, plant your foot. You know you're trying to get to the marker to pick up the first down.
They've got to get right to the 45 to move the chains here. Celina loading up bodies right over top of the football. And it's the 2-minute timeout.
I don't think the Bobcats were what they know is not going to happen is Knox Gage is not about to throw this ball. So they're like, look, we are preparing for what you are going to do. And if you're on the other side, if you're the Tigers, you got to feel like maybe this is 4-down territory for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you are at what, 3rd? This is 3rd and 1. I mean, unless you lose 5 yards, that would be the only way that you punt it.
Lucy in the YouTube comments says shout out to Cale Ritchie, number 57 on the Gunter Tigers. Kay Altoon says shout out Phoenix Grant, watching his father coach the Gunter Tigers. Appreciate you guys being with us tonight. Please click the like button, click the share button. Send this feed out to your friends in the Gunter and Celina communities, the Texas high school football community. Let them know they can tune in and watch 2 defending state champions go head-to-head tonight on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Indulge in unlimited flavors. Why settle for just one dish? At Texas Day Brazil, every dining experience is an unlimited exploration of bold, fresh, and authentic flavors. Out of the timeout, 4th and 1. Gage with Campiti. 3rd and 1, beg your pardon. I'm a down ahead. Can they avoid 4th down? Down to 8 on the play clock as Gage looks at his play sheet on his wrist. Down to 3. I don't think he sees the fact that he's got to snap it, and Jordan Gill's going to have to bail him out with a timeout. Gill was on top of it, right next to the head linesman, but that's the last time you want to have to use a timeout coming right out of the 2-minute timeout.
I guess unless you want to see the alignment of the defense, you did have the 2-minute warning, so you had ample time to put in whatever play it was that you wanted. So I think the biggest question that was in my head is, are you in 4-down territory here? Hence you saying 4th and 1.
Yeah, you got me a play ahead there.
Okay.
So I'm wondering too, the new technology this year. The fact that they can now communicate with the coaching staff with the wearable technology. I saw him looking at the wristwatch, or at the what I thought anyway was the play sheet on his wrist. Perhaps he was looking at the wristwatch. Maybe they were trying to change the play, and that was the miscommunication there that led to the need for the timeout.
Help me understand this. Does everyone on the offense have the wristwatch, or is it just the quarterback?
I believe it's just the quarterback.
Okay.
I think it's just the quarterback, and then defensively it can just – similar to like with the NFL with the green dot. You've got one guy on each side of the ball. They put in helmet technology last year in college football. This is the UIL following suit this year. 3rd down and 1. Gage keeping it himself. Stood up but then falls forward, and he'll have enough for the 1st down. He got to the 44, and that'll move the chains.
Hey, and that's what you were talking about that athleticism. Look, a guy like that, there are a lot of quarterbacks that take a lick like this and they go backwards. Not Knox Gage.
Nope.
He is running through that contact, and Julian Mayfield delivered a blow and thought he had a stop, but that's a 5'11", 165-pound quarterback that's just not going to be denied of that 1st down.
Only a sophomore, but a really, really good athlete. In talking with Jordan Gill this week, and he started comparing him to Walker Overman, as that throw is over the middle, flag on the play, thrown right at the chest of Case Shelf, who had to try and get out of the way of it. We'll see if this is an offensive or defensive penalty.
Is that called hitting the guilty party?
I don't think the umpire intended to hit him. It's going to be a hold against Gunter. That's going to set up 1st and 20 for the Tigers offense. But it was interesting in talking with Jordan Gill.
Number 60, black. 10-yard penalty.
Dylan Wiley hit with the hold there. He was comparing Knox Gage. Last year they had Preston Tarpley as their quarterback, was more of a thrower, whereas Walker Overman's more of a running quarterback. So in that discussion, he's comparing him to Walker Overman. I said, I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. When you compare him to Overman, are you just trying to say he's more of a runner than like Tarpley was a thrower last year? Or are you saying that Knox Gage is special the way that Walker Overman was special? He said, no, he's a dude. He can be special. And for anybody in the Gunter program to compare anybody to Walker Overman is a mouthful. That dude was 5'7" and 145 pounds, but a football player like you have never seen before. He was a really, really fun kid to watch play. Gage makes a man miss, now fires the pop pass on target for Alex Fenner. Fenner inside the 30. A pickup of 30 on the play. 1st down, Gunter.
And Knox Gage, I am familiar now with your game. Way to avoid the rush, but also find a streaking receiver in Fenner.
That is a big-time play from Knox Gage, right on cue as we're talking about how great this kid could be. Now a timeout called by Bill Elliott saying, hang on just a second, let me give my defense a chance to get a breather here with $1:09 to play in this 2nd quarter.
And they had him, but that's just Knox Gage not going to allow the rush to get him. He ducks underneath the pressure. Keeping his eyes down the field. That's a special play. Here it is again.
2nd timeout of the half.
Oh, excuse me, there's the timeout.
If we can go back one more play and see the effort there from Knox Gage. You're going to want to go back one more, Clay Marshall, our director. I guess maybe, yeah, here we go. This will be the one.
Yeah, they
Pressure comes off the edge, and he made Lawson Allen miss.
Now, Allen, that's one of those ones you just, how did I miss him? And he just ducks underneath his armpit to find Fenner.
Gunner's got to get points here. Have to get points here. Minute 9 to play. Ball's at the 25-yard line. Again, Celina has the ball to start the second half. Gunner's got to go capitalize on this. Gage to the air. Pressure all over him.
Throw it.
Has to throw it away. Somehow gets loose. Look at Knox Gage go. Up the near sideline, inside the 15. It'll depend on the spot. He may have another first down, and he will. There is a flag down on the far sideline. What a play by Knox Gage. Forget the flag. That was unbelievable.
That is one for the highlight reel. You don't give that one back. I mean, talk about Houdini.
The flag sits at the 26.
72 black.
Oh, man. That's
for that play to come off the board is...
That is a killer.
Man. Because that was a fun play to watch.
They got number 72 is Mo Paras. It's pretty hard to hold your block that long, and somebody's going to commit a hold.
Yeah, if there's one counsel I would give Knox Gage, the sophomore QB, just starting for the third time ever this week, he does need to learn when to throw the football away. Now, he just made an unbelievable play. They'll bring it back to the 35. It will be 1st and 20 here for Gunter, but you got to throw the ball away at some point.
Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. That's what you're saying.
Now, listen. As somebody who played the position but absolutely could never dream to do what Knox Gage just did, I was a statue in the pocket. I was far more inclined to throw the football away than Knox Gage should ever be. Campiti with some running room. Jay Campiti lowers his shoulder, earns back the penalty yardage and then some to the 23, a pickup of 12.
And what I can tell is that there is a healthy respect from this Bobcats defense for number 3.
The 6'1", 195-pound senior. Gage to the air. Somehow that ball was caught by Benji Rodriguez.
Oh,
he's short of the line to gain, and that clock is ticking down to 24. Gunter will use their final timeout with 23 seconds in the half.
Timeout, Gunter.
It's going to be 3rd and 2.
Final timeout of the half.
So the problem that I have with this is if you're out of timeouts now, and if you do bring on the field goal, man, you're going to have to be getting these guys out here in a hurry. So the decision is pick up the first down. What do you do after that because you're out of timeouts?
From right here, if they moved the ball no further, it would be about a 33-yard field goal, maybe 34. Yeah, ball sits at the 17, so 34, 35-yard field goal, depending on exactly where they decided to put the block down. Not a monster kick for Lathan Pacina, the junior.
But it's healthy.
But yeah, no chip shot.
Here they come back out with that trips formation, the diamond formation.
And remember, they had issues on their PAT.
Yes.
When they did try and kick it after their one touchdown today. 3rd and 2, Gage to the air. Up the seam, tipped, and it's incomplete. Would have been a sensational catch by Alex Fenner. Went up with that right hand and nearly hauled this in.
Alex Fenner just mistimed his jump.
And then that ball was nearly picked by Colton Crumpley too. So it's 4th and 2. Flag down on the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Wow.
Number 10, White.
Wow. That is a massive penalty on Case Chelf. half the distance to the goal. They're going to put the ball at the 8-yard line. First and goal, Gunter, with 18 seconds. Now again, no timeouts, and a team that their bread and butter is running the football makes this a little bit harder. But a golden opportunity here for the Gunter Tigers.
The weird thing about it is now it forces you into a situation where you can't run the ball.
Yeah. Gage, play action, has a man wide open, caught for the touchdown. Reese Stanowski is in. Gunter scores with 12 seconds in the half.
From the beginning of this drive, Mike, you said it, man, they had to put points on the board. They did it the hard way. It took a ton of penalties, a couple of timeouts, and a 2-minute warning to get these guys into the end zone. But that whole drive was Knox Gage's drive. The sophomore came of age on that drive right there.
Some big-time plays from the sophomore. And now they'll look to cap it off with the PAT. Kick is no good. Wide to the left.
You know what that means? The next time you score, go for 2.
Yes.
That's the end of that.
PATs have not been friendly to the Gunter Tigers today. But a sensational drive from Knox Gage and this Tigers offense. 10 plays, 78 yards. Used up 4 minutes and 20 seconds of the 4:32 that was left on the clock when they took the ball back. You couldn't have asked for anything better if you're Jordan Gill. That was perfect.
It was, and it did 2 things. Obviously, the momentum swing for your team, but also it got your defense a bit of a blow as well.
Yes, they're going to get an extended break here between that drive and now a 28-minute halftime that is forthcoming. Going to get about 40 minutes worth off the field for this Gunter Tigers defense to come out to start the third quarter and try and get after Bo Bentley again. L.J. Taylor deep to return for the Celina Bobcats. As Lathan Pacina sends it up the near sideline. Maddox McCoy on the return, trying to get the far sideline. He's got blockers. He's got a convoy out in front. Maddox McCoy across midfield. Big return, 4 seconds in the half, but a return of 32. And hey, when you got Bo Bentley, why not fling it to the end zone one time?
Man, and how about the return right here, coming all the way back across the field, and that was set up perfectly from our vantage point. Boy, it looked like he was going to take that one to the house.
Honestly, a really good job of pursuit by Saxon Harris on the Gunter coverage team. Otherwise, McCoy had perhaps an even better angle on just about everybody except for Tristan Barton. Would have been the one other Tiger that would have had a chance at him, it looked like. Returns it back to the 40. And now Gunter's got defenders standing back at their own 13, 14, 15-yard line trying to create a fence. They're going to run it right up the middle here with Gutierrez. Logan Gutierrez taken down. They tried to go old school Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, they did.
With Tyreek Hill against the Cowboys about a decade ago.
Man, a nightmarish situation right there, and the Tigers handle it well.
So Jordan Gill will take his heart palpitations to the locker room with that one. 22-12 as the Tigers make the tackle they needed to. And Celina with a 10-point lead at halftime. We've got ourselves a football game in Melissa tonight. The Friday Night Football halftime show coming your way after this. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
And now, the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.
And first up on the Friday Night Football halftime show, the Celina High School Band and the Celina High School Color Guard. Alicia Whipke, the director of the Color Guard, they've got the field first. John Weddle and his Celina High School Band to follow. We hope you enjoy the show.
This year's dance officers are Second Lieutenant Amaris Reyna, First Lieutenant Eddie Wiseman, and your Captain Annabelle Warner. Social Officer Avery Tarkington and Charlotte Caulfield. This week's district team is Paisley Carter, and the spirit girl of the week is Ava Walker. The last 15 years drill team is under the direction of Susie Simpson. This week they're performing a field jazz routine to Ozzy Zombie. sponsors are Greedy Dance, Bullseye Blend Tech, Atmos Energy, the Caulfield Law Firm, Goldfish Medical Staff, Ice Slaves, 708 Studio, Rex Real Estate, Advanced Body Solutions, Corbridge Orthodontics, Automation Integration, and Ratings Crew. Thank y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Celina High School proudly presents the 2022, 2023, and 2024 back-to-back UIL State Champion Bobcat Band. Tonight, the Bobcat Band will be performing part of their 2025 competition show entitled No Please welcome to the field the Gunter Tiger cheerleader.
All right, we hope you enjoyed the first half show there from the Celina High School Band and the Celina High School Color Guard. Next up, the crews from Gunter. The Gunter cheerleaders to take the field first, then the Gunter High School Color Guard under the direction of Mrs. Cooper, the Gunter Tiger Band under the direction of Dustin Wynn coming your way over the next 12 minutes and 40 seconds before we get the third quarter started here on Friday Night Football. We hope you enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field your Gunter High School Tigerettes with Captain Lauren Olson under the direction of Trista Huff. Tonight, the Tigerettes halftime is brought to you by Rusty Hammer Remodel and Repair. Thank you for sponsoring our team. The Tigerettes will be performing upon routine to Seven Nation Army. Please welcome Gunter High School featured twirler, Analea Alman. Analea received the Outstanding Performer Award at the UIL State Twirling Competition this past May. And just last month, she traveled to Italy where she represented Team USA and took home the gold medal. More than anything, Analea loves twirling for her Gunter Tigers. Let's hear it for Analea.
That is a first in Friday Night Football halftime history. A one-woman color guard show. Fantastic job. And now the Gunter Tiger Band will take the field under the direction of Dustin Wynn. on cam. And our thanks once again to all 4 crews for their performance here at halftime. 22-12 our halftime score. And let's go ahead and roll right into what happened in the first half of this football game. This is Mike Leslie, Heckman Harrison. We join you back here in the broadcast booth. Let's show you the highlights from this first half as Celina jumped out to the lead. Go ahead, Marshall, and go ahead and show us if the highlights will cooperate. Here we go. Highlights from tonight's first half. Celina came out, Heckman, and started slinging it around the yard. Bo Bentley, their 4-star QB, on his way to Oklahoma. Nice throw over the middle there for Brody Gunn. That would set up a short touchdown run from Bo Bentley, and it was 7-0 early.
Yeah, that's when they went on their run and started moving the ball. And so obviously you need a team like this to continue with their momentum. And finally, Gunter, you called it a foot race right here, but man, he was close to taking that long run to the house.
Jay Campiti with a 71-yard run. That would set up Knox Gage with a 2-yard touchdown run, and it was 7-6 midway through this first quarter. But it did not take Celina long to go right back down the field. Logan Gutierrez plunging his way into the end zone to make it 14-6 in favor of Celina after 1 quarter. Then in the second quarter, Gutierrez again, this time from 16 yards out for the touchdown, and it was 22-6 in favor of the Celina Bobcats because Heckman, they decided to go for 2 here. Clever play design to get L.J. Taylor wide open.
Yeah, the defense didn't adjust, and that was the mistake that left L.J. Taylor wide open. But I tell you what, on this next drive, it was all Tigers.
Knox Gage doing it all the way down the field, hitting Reese Stanowski for the touchdown with 12 seconds in the half, and that's what set our halftime score of 22-12. Let's show you the halftime highlights here, the halftime stats here right before we kick things off in this second half. A 22-12 lead for the Celina Bobcats, but Heckman, Gunter is right there in this football game.
Yeah, they really have, and they own the turnover differential, and the penalties really have kept them in this game. You look at the yardage passing-wise, they hadn't really done much in the air, but look at what they have done on the ground. I think that those rushing yards really probably gave Coach Gill at halftime. He's telling his guys, look, hey, guys, if we can continue to capitalize when we have the ball in our hands, get some stops defensively, we're in this ball game.
And also, very importantly, their defense had a nice long break.
Yes.
To gas up and be ready for this first possession of the third quarter. They were off the field for that entire 4-minute and 12-second drive. They kick it away here. It's Maddox McCoy. This was dangerous the last time he returned from that spot, and he's going to try to be dangerous again here out to the 32. And that's where Bo Bentley and this Celina offense will get back to work. Bill Elliott, the head coach of the Bobcats, hired here 32 years ago by the late G.A. Moore. Part of a vast coaching tree for the legendary G.A. Moore. The head coach here now in his 14th year leading the way for the Bobcats, and finally got his championship as a head coach last year with that win over Kilgore. He was an assistant on 5 different championship teams, the 95 title, 98 through 2001 when they went 4 straight. They'll start here in the second half with a completion to Villarreal, and he's run out of bounds on the near sideline, a pickup of 13.
Hey, get it in the hands of your playmaker right away. And they waste no time getting it back out to the outside to Wyatt Villarreal.
First and 10 at the 45. We appreciate you watching the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute, as Villarreal makes the catch again here on first and 10, and another big pickup. Give him 16 on this one.
You think there's a little bit of attention to getting number 88 the ball. They know where their playmaker is. Get him involved in the game. First half adjustments have been made. They open up the third quarter going 2 plays in a row to 88.
And it's first and 10 at the 40. Gutierrez tried to find a seam, falls forward for 3. Gutierrez with 95 rushing yards in the first half, so he's knocking on the door of 100 now. 15 carries for 98 yards and the 2 touchdowns.
You talk about the defense getting a bit of a break. Maybe they're a little cold coming out here in the second half if they're giving up some big chunk yards to this Bobcats offense.
Villarreal again, another first down.
Yes, that's just the offensive coordinator saying, look, time to put the kids to bed, okay? Let's let the big boys do what they do, and you're going right back to Villarreal.
The other thing worth considering, we're talking about how long this Gunner offense had to be off the field. They got a bunch of kids going 2 ways. That's the reality of 3A Division II football.
Indeed.
So there's a lot of guys that were on the field for that long offensive possession as Villarreal makes the catch once again, this time taken down short of the line to gain finally. A pickup of 8, and it's second down and a pair. The Gunner coaching staff expecting run, saying scoot up, and Logan Gutierrez scoots right through. First down inside the 15.
Oh, and they're just mowing these guys down up front. This offensive line, Ace Draper, number 52, the center in the middle. He is directing traffic, but man, they are getting to the second level.
Gutierrez again. Nice move to get to the outside. Logan Gutierrez dragging inside the 5. First and goal, Celina.
So you've heard people say cutting on a dime. This is what they call cutting on a dime right here for Logan Gutierrez.
First and goal, Celina. Bentley to do it himself. Pushes forward, and he's in. Touchdown, Bobcats.
Now that's impressive. That is an impressive drive, and you know that Coach Bill Elliott gave them a mouthful at halftime because he feels like this team should have been up by more going into halftime. That is a response by the Celina Bobcats.
68 yards over the course of 8 plays, just 2 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock on that drive. And 7 points on the board for Celina. Bo Bentley with his second touchdown run of the day. And the Bobcats send a message to start the third quarter on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Gunter.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Back in Melissa, 29-12. Celina now with the lead, the number 1 ranked team in the state in 4A Division I. The Bobcats, the favorites to repeat as champions here in 2025. The kick away up the far sideline. Short kick fielded at the 23 and immediately snowed under is Benji Rodriguez. Let's show you those state rankings in 4A Division I. The Bobcats up at the top of the list. Kilgore, the team they played in the title game a year ago, ranked 3rd in the state. Canyon West Plains is who Celina played in, I believe it was the state semifinals a year ago. That was a terrific game where Celina had to come back. And then, yes, Heckma, I see you pointing at Frisco Panther Creek. Oh, that's the game coming up in a few weeks that Celina certainly has circled. That game's on September 26th at Celina. Should be a terrific football game.
Yeah, that is going to be a dog fight. Panther Creek has athletes all over the field.
So 1st and 10 for Gunter from the 27. Campiti on the carry. He'll fall forward for 3. This is a spot, Heckma, where Gunter really needs a response.
Yeah, and another long drive, and really Knox Gage showed you right before half, man, his ability to break off long runs, but he absolutely needed some other things to go his way by way of penalties as well. He made some clutch throws, 1 or 2, to keep drives going. Let's see if he has any more magic left in that hand.
2nd and 7. Celina with 10 players within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. They throw the slant, well timed, over the middle. Gage Prescott's got the first down.
And you see the hesitation right there from the Celina Bobcats. All of these guys are trying to read run immediately. And what does Knox Gage do? He comes right up and throws the slant route on the money.
A 13-yard pickup out to the 43. And perhaps that helps loosen up that Celina defense just a bit, Hackma, for the run game.
Yeah, they're going to need more of that. And plays like that, that's exactly what it does. It makes these guys step back a little bit. Look at how close they're playing to the line of scrimmage.
Gage. Nice job to drag a tackler forward. And that's no small tackler. Cam Lucas, 6'2", 250, and he dragged him like 3 yards.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I tell you what, that is a tough ask to drag Cameron Lucas.
Cameron Lucas is an absolute stud. This kid last week against Waco La Vega, a sensational program in their own right. 3 sacks, 10 tackles, a forced fumble, an interception, a tackle for loss that was for a safety, 2 other tackles for loss. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that 36-7 Celina win. This time Campede with nowhere to go, and right there in the middle of it is big number 23, Cameron Lucas. He's a young man. Bill Elliott told us all about him, gave us the quote of the little Aaron Donald. So we knew all about Cameron Lucas. And then my buddy Varian Lucas, who works at WFAA, texts me and says, hey, by the way, number 23 for Celina is my nephew.
Good genes in that family.
Yes, indeed. Varian Lucas, who played at Longview back in the day. Varian, I won't say how long ago.
Yeah, was it reel to reel?
Not that long ago. 3rd and 6, over the middle, complete. And breaking away is Benji Rodriguez with a first down. Beg your pardon, Alex Fenner, 7, not 1. Fenner with the catch. And they move the chains. Look at Knox Gage slinging it around the yard here in the 3rd quarter.
Hey, man, it's like we're meeting this guy for the first time. They said doesn't have much of an arm. I think he's fooling everybody out here tonight, slinging this thing around. Talk about special. That's the part of it. Not only just doing it with his legs, doing it with his arms.
So 1st and 10 at the 36. Campede will keep it on this one. Nowhere for him to go. Frankly, did a good job to make that a gain of about 2.
Hey, gain of about 2, but could have easily have lost 3.
Yeah. Down to 7 on the play clock. Gage surveying, down to 2. They get the snap off. Campede up the middle, breaks a tackle. Jay Campede up the gut, and he'll score. 34 yards for the touchdown, and Gunter answers right back.
You ask for a drive like this, and Knox Gage delivers. And him and Jay Campede, these guys are not going to go quiet. Now, do they go for 2 here?
They bring out the swinging gate look, and they do bring out their kicker, Lathan Pacina. They have had struggles on the PAT so far today, but they're going to try and make it a 10-point game. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is perfect. All 3 pieces of the operation on point that time. And they tack on the PAT, and it is 29-19 Midway through the third quarter here in Melissa, Heckma Harrison, the Gunter Tigers are game for the fight.
Yeah, they're not going away. And I think that is the way that you want to answer here to open up the third quarter. Celina definitely made their adjustments, and you saw what they did in the way that they adjusted and went the length of the field to get the score. And now the Tigers have done the same.
John Lasker in the YouTube comments says, got to give it to Gunter. They don't quit.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It is down to a 10-point game. But can Gunter find a stop? That's the big question mark here.
Yes.
Because stopping one Bo Bentley is not easy to do. Gunter to kick it away. Up the far sideline, Maddox McCoy will let it go out of bounds.
I think you're trying to kick it away from a guy, and you end up giving up more yardage than you thought. I mean, how many times have you seen him reverse field and run off big runs on the kickoff?
I almost wonder if that wasn't Jordan Gill saying, you know what, we'll take it, as opposed to giving up the risk. I mean, these are kids for Gunter that are, a lot of them are playing both ways. Witten Overman certainly playing both ways. Alex Fenner playing both ways. Benji Rodriguez playing on both sides of the ball. There's lots of kids. Blake Boland. Lots of kids that are playing both ways in this football game for the Gunter Tigers. And by extension, also playing on special teams. You get gassed real quick when that's the case, especially playing against a team in Celina that doesn't have to do quite as much of that. Special teams will gas you. If you say, hey, they're going to spot the ball at the 30-yard line,
I'll take it.
Just fine with that.
I think I'll take it. Because they've been starting from, about the 40, sometime right about the 50.
I was to say sometimes plus territory.
Yeah.
So back to work goes Bo Bentley, the future Sooner, taking over at his own 30. Pressured. Tries to get out the back door. Flag on the play in the vicinity of what is usually a hold as Bentley is slung down for no gain.
I think they get pick number 76, Jayton Griffin, with the hold. Great job by Bentley.
Number 50, Legend Kendricks, the left guard, called for the hold.
5'9", 230.
Little fire plug.
Yes, he
in there,
is.
Left guard. The great name, too. Legend Kendricks. I like that. QB draw here for Bentley, and Bentley's got a blocker to the near sideline. Scampers out of bounds at the 28. He earned back 8 of those 10 penalty yards.
And what a backbreaker. You do all of that, you hold a guy, and then the next thing you know, he escapes out the back door.
However, it's 2nd and 12 right now. Can Gunter get their defense off the field here? Can you make a quick stop of Celina and give Knox Gage, Jay Campini, and the Tigers offense the football back? Villarreal, open, first down.
They just...
Beg your pardon, very close, but he is going to be short. It's going to be 3rd and 2, and Wyatt Villarreal looks like he's hurt. Wyatt Villarreal looks like he's in a lot of pain. Bo Bentley, the first one to get to him and help him back to his feet.
Yeah.
Villarreal limping off now with every step, looking a little better.
Yeah, he got twisted underneath, but it's good to see that target, his big target, running off the field.
Villarreal up to 9 receptions for 121 yards. He will have to come off for a play because he stayed down after the play, and that matters here on 3rd and 2. And sure enough, Bill Elliott's going to call a timeout and change that.
He said, nope. This is a pivotal 3rd down, and I need all of my weaponry out here on the field. This was just good to see him get off because, like you said, man, he was agonizing in pain on the field.
It will be 3rd and 2 out of the timeout. Bill Elliott making his case to the officials. Is he trying to say that it should have been a face mask, or is he just...
He's just working the officials.
Not sure what the case being made there was. There you see Wyatt Villarreal on the far sideline, so it does not look like he's going to come back on for this 3rd and 2 play. Needing at least one more play to catch a breather, so Celina's going to try and go for the 3rd down conversion here without him. 3rd and 2, QB draw. Bo Bentley's got it with ease. A pickup of 5 on the play, and they'll move the sticks.
And what did you think they were going to draw up?
Right.
What did you think they were going to draw up?
That play has been money for them all night, especially in short yardage situations. And it works again. 1st and 10 at the 43. Bentley well protected to the near side for Taylor and a 1st down.
Mike,
12 more.
Mike,
oh wow, a little bit of extracurriculars here way behind the play. Logan Gutierrez mixed up with a couple of Gunter Tigers. No flags thrown yet. Officials jump in and split this all up.
But I was going to say, anywhere else, that's a coverage sack.
Yeah.
And Bo Bentley finds a way to escape pressure and get that ball off. Now, you said that these two schools were separated by how many miles?
7 miles between the two high schools, so neighboring towns.
I tell you what, I'm a little pleased with it took them just that long to get into a little bit of a dust up.
This is not a penalty that's advancing the football. This was just the spot of where L.J. Taylor caught the ball and got out of bounds.
You might want to tell the Tigers contingent that, because they think that that's walking off the penalty.
Wyatt Villarreal hyping up the crowd as well as he is back on the field directly underneath our score bug on the bottom of your screen. So good to see big number 88 back on the field, unless you're a Gunter Tiger fan, because he's been killing them all night tonight. Handoff Gutierrez. 4 more.
And one thing about that ankle injury, looks like he's a little hobbled.
It is getting chippy out there. We talked about it off the top of the telecast, the back and forth between these schools over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Not so much really between the players or the coaches, but more so the fan bases just kind of talking trash, because that's what Texas high school football fans like to do. And the Gunter fans are saying, yeah, I'll bet you we could go down there and beat Celina. And Bill Elliott said, all right, you want a shot? Here's your shot. They've got a shot tonight, but that's a really nice play on the far sideline. That's going to pick up another Celina 1st down inside the 15.
Boy, and every time the Gunter Tigers make a play defensively, Celina comes right back with a play of their own. They're never out of it. It's just, man, what a challenge this has been for this Tigers defense.
Gutierrez, hesitation, flag on the play. Another flag way after the play. as Brody Gunn was ripped to the ground. His helmet's on the deck. More flags. Officials trying desperately to get this game back under control. Bill Elliott out to the hash mark talking with Brody Gunn.
Oh, man, I want to see, that was pretty nasty right there, boy.
There are 4 flags on the play.
And it's what happened after the play, because Brody Gunn, he's down on the ground without his helmet. Look right here at the end, tail end of the play. Oh, it came away from him.
A lot to sort out here for our officiating crew. See if you can see number 9 in the background. I don't know if he's going to remain in the frame. Unfortunately, we're not going to have a great look at perhaps the up top camera. Yeah, this may have a better look. Number 9 just behind where Logan Gutierrez ran.
He stepped on him.
It was Chris Grimaldo, number 90, that was tangled up with him. And you see all the flags that come flying in there at the tail end of the play.
There are 4 fouls on the previous play. The first foul is for holding on the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. The second 2 fouls are offsetting, dead ball, unnecessary roughness fouls in the pile. The 4th foul is an unnecessary roughness foul by number 24, Black. That penalty will be assessed after the holding penalty.
So 4 penalties in total. Offsetting penalties, they didn't announce numbers, but I can only imagine on Gunn and Grimaldo, 9 and 90, that we saw tangled up with each other. And then a 4th foul in addition to the hold that walks this back 10 yards. Then a penalty on Grayson Pilkington. And they're going to place the ball at the 14, and this should be an automatic first down
yes,
with an unsportsmanlike penalty. And instead they're going to say 1st and 5 here. Now they have moved the chains. There we go. Now they've got things sorted out, and it will be 1st and 10 from the 14. 4 penalties on 1 play. I suppose 1 play in the aftermath of that play. And it's Gutierrez from the 14, inside the 5, dragging tacklers to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Celina. Logan Gutierrez with a statement.
You've heard the saying, don't poke the bear, maybe don't poke the bobcat. And just the life that has been injected into this Celina offense, and you see it right there on that punishing run from Logan Gutierrez, finishing this drive off in the end zone.
A 14-yard touchdown run for Gutierrez, his 3rd touchdown run of the day. Jax Holt with the PAT, and it is 36-19 Celina in a game that has gotten quite chippy here in this 3rd quarter. The Bobcats do their talking with a 14-yard touchdown run and reestablish a 3-score lead here in Melissa on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Dunkus.
Thanks, Dunkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delk.
We've got ourselves an interesting one tonight here in Melissa. Celina and Gunter, 2 championship caliber programs. They proved that a year ago. Gunter has proven that 3 years running. And Heckma Harrison, there's no lack of fight in either of these two teams.
Maybe that's not the word to use tonight, Mike, because it's
kind of feels like the exact word to use tonight.
Hey, let's get these kids to the parking lot immediately and separate, because man, did things get chippy in a hurry. You talked about these two communities, you know, waiting 25 years to play each other. It feels like it.
Nice return here on the run from Benji Rodriguez out to the 39. And the Gunter Tigers still firing up the crowd on the near side and looking to come out and do some damage here on what may well be the final possession of this third quarter. They went right down the field and scored on the J. Campidi 34-yard touchdown run. The last time they had the football, a 4-minute possession, scoring with 5:47 in this third quarter to cut the lead to 10. Now they have to go try and do the same thing once again.
Well, Knox Gage found his rhythm in the passing game.
Wow. So now Gunter is the beneficiary of an unsportsmanlike penalty on Celina. Sumner Nickel, the sophomore, recent call up from JV.
Boy.
Called for the unsportsmanlike, so that will put the ball at the 46 in plus territory for Gunter to start this possession.
Well, you're just helping your opponents out right there by making that kind of boneheaded mistake. But I tell you what, Knox Gage has to come up big. He came up big in the passing game.
Campidi up the middle. A pickup of 6.
"25 years they've had to wait."
Until last year. Last year's game was not as competitive as this one. 38-7 Celina win on their home field. Gunter has hung tough today. Gage waiting for the hole to develop. It never really did. He just plunges forward for no gain.
Big third down. It seemed like we got here so fast. But the Tigers, boy, this would be a big time first down if they could pick it up here just to keep this drive alive.
They've got to get to the 36 to move the chains. Is it already 4-down territory for the Gunter Tigers? Yeah. With 14 minutes and change left in this football game and down 3 scores. Gage to the air, slings it near side. It's out of the grasp of Witten Overman and incomplete.
Boy, he has so many different options in that passing game. He's only dealing with a single safety high look. And boy, he has a guy right in his face, Lawson Allen. If he just had half a second more waiting on that to develop, he puts it on his receiver.
Allen disrupted the timing, and it's 4th down and 4. Gage is their punter, so he can quick kick it if they so choose, but I don't think they're doing anything but going for it here on 4th down. Gage has got nowhere to go. The play just blew up in the backfield. Celina with the 4th down stop. Another flag. Cameron Lucas was at the bottom of the pile there, and the umpire threw the flag straight in the air over his head. I'm not sure if he committed the penalty or if he was the one who had the penalty committed against him.
Boy, this is going to be big. But the defense is out on the field, so.
It is post-play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 23, White, the 15-yard penalty. First down, White.
Yeah, it's very important that that was a post-play penalty. The change of possession had technically already happened when the infraction was committed by Cameron Lucas. So it will remain Celina football despite that penalty. But instead of taking over at the 45, they'll take over at their own 30. The 9th penalty of the game against Celina for 94 yards. Gunner's got 6 penalties of their own for 51. But Gunner again has to come up with a stop. And at this point, it feels like make a stop or the football game's probably over.
Well, a tough predicament to be in after those penalties. But that last Celina's defense just said enough is enough, and they brought an all-out blitz.
Villarreal breaks a tackle, and he's out to midfield. 19 on the play.
So much for that ankle injury.
That is his 10th catch on the day for a $141. Pitt's getting themselves a dude.
Yes, they are.
Bentley, near side. Brody Gunn for 4 more. Bo Bentley did have that early interception. He only has 2 passes tonight that have touched the ground. 17 completions on 20 attempts and the 1 pick. 251 yards through the air. He's also run for 46 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Gutierrez has got 3 touchdown runs on the day and lost the football. On top of it immediately is Benji Rodriguez, and that is the play the Gunner defense needed.
Man, talk about prayers being answered, and that was exactly what happened right there. Gutierrez, who we've seen break off a ton of long runs, man, first mistake that he's made in this game comes in the 3rd quarter, 1:09 left. But yeah, that's prayers answered right there for the Gunner Tigers.
And it was Witten Overman, the sophomore, Walker and Easton's little brother, showing he's every bit the football player that Big Bros both were. Pops that football loose. Benji Rodriguez with the recovery. Gunner football at the 33. Down 3 scores, but with 1:09 left here in the 3rd quarter. Jordan Gill's team has shown they are going to continue to battle all night long. Gage on the first play of the possession tried to cut upfield. Nice tackle by Jacob Brown, but a pickup of 5.
Boy, trying to make the right read on that play is Knox Gage. And man, he is weaving through traffic. Even better job there by Jacob Brown. Jacob Brown's been playing a solid game today from his safety position. Gunner has to run a play here.
10 seconds on the play clock, and more to the point, they need to hurry. Down 3 scores. Campiti eaten up by Cam Lucas inside. No gain on the play.
Yeah, I think they've riled the wrong guy up in Cameron Lucas. He's had a fantastic game. He has been a problem for these guys up front. Wiley and Nicholas Damon, they've trying to figure out how to block this guy. And he's been moving from left to right all night.
And that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. 36-19, Celina with the lead. Gunner with possession, but they need to hustle as we head to the 4th on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking your pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Stay tuned after the game as we unveil our Texas Day Brazil on fire player of the game.
Couple of different options tonight for player of the game.
I don't know.
Certainly Bo Bentley with a nice night, 251 through the air, a pair of rushing touchdowns. Logan Gutierrez, 3 rushing scores and 149 rushing yards. Jay Campiti with a nice night. Knox Gage with a nice night. Campiti at 12 carries for 142 yards and a score. Gage 80 passing, 66 rushing, looking for more rushing yards here and looking for more than just yards. He's up the near sideline. The far sideline, I beg your pardon, and out of bounds inside the 35. A pickup of 34 for Knox Gage on the first play of the fourth quarter, and Gunter is moving quickly here.
And the decision from Knox Gage to basically try and bend that one to the outside. He had a couple of different options. He made the right read and made the Bobcats pay.
They mark him out of bounds at the 31. First and 10 there, 8 seconds into this fourth quarter. You have seen tonight why Jordan Gill and this Gunter coaching staff feels like this kid Knox Gage has Walker Overman type of special potential. He has made some really, really nice plays. That is a delay of game.
That's tough and costly.
They will give them the timeout just before the flag. That is Gunter's first timeout of the second half, so they still have 2 remaining. But down 3 scores, that's a very valuable timeout that they just gave away.
That is, and they were pocketing that one for a reason. But I tell you what, I'd rather burn the timeout than take the penalty down here. You're in a position right now. If you're the Tigers, obviously they're putting together these long drives to get scores. And they have done so well on the ground versus the Bobcats, but you got to find a way to continue to put it in the air to just back this defense up. Because if you look at these guys, man, they only have 1 safety deep, but other than that, all of their defenders are standing around the line of scrimmage.
Gunter wanted to be in an opportunity to make a play late. Can they be in a game enough that they can make something crazy happen? In order to find themselves in that spot, they need a score here pretty quickly. But they're in shouting distance. They'll walk off the 5-yard delay of game penalty. Wait.
So they keep the timeout.
It was like the timeout happened. Both teams went to the sideline, and then they decided, never mind, keep the timeout, take the 5-yard penalty. That, all right. Haven't, like, if you could have made that decision, that's fine, but you would have thought that decision would have been made 45 seconds ago. Campiti on the carry, picked up 3. It'll be 2nd and 12. I give him 4, I suppose. 2nd and 11.
And what I'm questioning here is, when is Coach Gill going to take a shot? I mean, he is single coverage on the outside here, where they finally move somebody over here, which is Jacob Brown. Nope.
Gage. Slant pattern. Not a lot of running room for Alex Fenner. He picks up 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, just as good as the run. That slant route. Knox Gage can throw that one in his sleep.
They've got to get to the 21 to move the chains. They'll look to run for it on the QB draw, and Knox Gage runs into a wall. He pushed that wall about a half a yard, but no further. And it's 4th down.
And I tell you, Peyton Anderson, these guys in the middle, they were not fooled. It's almost like they were expecting Knox Gage to pull that one and go on the QB sneak.
It's going to be 4th down and 7 from the 28-yard line. Again, they've got to get to the 21. That clock continues to burn down, and now they're going to reset the play clock. Gage has come to the sideline. 21 seconds. Knox Gage is off the field. Timeout, Gunter.
Well, they let enough time run off.
Yeah, they gave up about 30 seconds there worth of clock. Next week on Friday Night Football, #1 South Lake Carroll. I think a lot of people would argue the runaway #1 team in the state right now. Lost in the 6A D2 state title game, brought back just about everybody from last year's team. They were a year ahead of schedule last year, getting to the title game, taking on the Euless Trinity Trojans, the #9 team in the state rankings. South Lake Carroll tonight against Trophy Club Byron Nelson, a team that is ordinarily a threat in the district. 52-3 South Lake Carroll. Dragons are loaded this year, but so is Euless Trinity, man. Yeah. They look really, really good. They got a cornerback that is outstanding. That's going to be a fun battle. Angelo Renda, the quarterback, Brock Boyd, the wide receiver from South Lake Carroll, against Euless Trinity and their super talented defense. That is next week on Friday Night Football. Trinity beating West Hardin tonight. Keller Central 45-7 tonight. So both those teams will come in undefeated. 4th down and 7. Gage over the middle. Complete. Can Danowski get the first down? No, he can't. What a job to secure the tackle by Hank Thomas. And it's a 4th down stop for Celina.
And Hank Thomas is man-to-man here, trailing the tight end, and he has to get him down. Way to corral, get him on the ground.
There is a flag down on the far sideline, all the way back at the 13, way in the defensive backfield, way away from where the play happened.
Whoa. Well, that's a development.
It is a defensive holding, and it's going to be an automatic 1st down for Gunter.
Oh, that changes everything.
Wow.
Julian Mayfield with the penalty, man, and he is a man on an island up on the far side over here.
The Gunter student section fired up tonight.
What did #4 ever do?
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 18 for Gunter.
Maddox McCoy is getting an earful over here on the near sideline.
I'll tell you what, the Gunter Tigers are still alive. That 4th down stop may have effectively ended it. Campini fumbled the football. He does get back on top of it. He'll lose a yard on the play. That looked like miscommunication, your ball or my ball, and Campini, I think, thought that Knox Gage was going to keep it.
And Knox Gage may have saw something at the last minute and tried to take that ball out. That's the risk you take on those read option plays.
2nd and 1, Gage is going to keep it again. Does a nice job to just drag a tackler for 5 or 6 yards. Jackson Matlock jumped on for the ride.
Yeah, Matlock was like, I can't get this guy down. He has him stopped in the backfield, but Knox Gage unbothered.
Jackson Matlock, 6'2", 192 pounds, the largest jockey I've ever seen.
You might want to check that.
3rd down and 5 after Knox Gage giving up 30 pounds. Carried him for a few yards. Up the middle, Campini snowed under. Met at the apex by Peyton Anderson, the senior, and it's 4th down. Officially no gain on the play.
Boy, here we go again.
4th and 5. Nose of the football on the 13-yard line. They have to get to the 8 to move the chains. Consider the top of the soccer goal box as your line to gain. Gage looking, firing, not going to have enough. Another flag down, this time in the area of a hold, an offensive hold. The completion was short of the line to gain. Case Chelf signaling like he got held. And if that's the case, this 4th down stop will stand because Celina made the tackle short.
Yep, I think that is the signal as Coach Bill Elliott declines it.
Yep.
Well, even with new life in the second opportunity, the Tigers still not able to solve the problem here. Celina's defense, boy, they have made some adjustments and got some stops.
Against an offense, as we talked with Bill Elliott earlier this week about this flex bone offense that Gunter runs with all the different looks and variations that they can throw at you. It's an offense that Celina really only sees when they play Gunter, which is to say twice in the last 25 years.
You don't simulate that week in and week out, and that's why it's so hard to compete against it, even at the 3A level.
Gutierrez right up the gut. Logan Gutierrez with blockers out in front. Gutierrez across midfield, trying to beat to the corner. A 60-yard run for Logan Gutierrez.
And Mike, that is the byproduct of having guys that go both ways, that have just come off of a long drive offensively and defensively. Look at all those black jerseys getting pushed back.
And Gutierrez now up to 210 rushing yards on the day. And Bentley to LJ Taylor. It's 1st and goal.
Boy, and LJ Taylor had a touchdown. And
yeah,
Bo Bentley's throwing that one off of his back foot, and that ball just floated on him.
1st and goal at the 7. Gutierrez again for 2.
He has been unstoppable today. And when you needed a big time run or a tough run, Logan Gutierrez has been the supplier. This has been a hard fought game, and maybe at the end of it the score won't indicate that, but this has been a tough game for the Bobcats.
Bentley rolling, fires, too tall for Wyatt Villarreal. That's hard to do. The big 6'5" target. But Bentley on the run just couldn't take enough heat off of this throw. Just sailed on him a little bit.
Boy, you had to be about 6'7" to come down with that one.
Logan Gutierrez, 22 for 212 yards.
There's a penalty.
Yeah, penalty against Gunter. Half the distance. Fresh 1st down at the 2-yard line. Gutierrez 9.6 yards per carry today. Bentley lowers his shoulder, leaning forward to the 1. So that was 2nd down, now 3rd and goal from the 1. Three backs behind, handoff, Gutierrez into the pile, stood up. 4th and goal.
Boy, the Tigers defense is not again to Gutierrez, that's having a career rushing night tonight.
Grayson Pilkington at the bottom of the pile, holding on for dear life to that number 3 jersey. 4th and goal from the 1. Past the midway point of the 4th. Celina looking for a knockout blow. Gunter looking for a stop that would keep their slim hopes alive. And Bill Elliott wants to talk things over a little more.
Yeah, you can't go home with him. May as well use him.
Give you a look at the 3A Division II state rankings that the Gunter Tigers sit atop as we play here in week 3 of the 2025 season. They beat Woodville last year in the title game. We are very accustomed to seeing Gunter and Canadian play in state semifinals through the years. But all those teams chasing the Tigers, who have won 3 straight state championships. They also won it all in 2016, in 2019. Went to the title game in 2021 before winning in 22, 23, and 24. And reloading here in 2025. It's this sophomore class that they are so fired up about. Witten Overman, Cole Bolt, Knox Gage, Gage Prescott. Some young guns that are coming up through the ranks that are going to be really, really special. Chris Grimaldo, the defensive end. All those kids are sophomores. District 7 3A Division II knows all too well how quickly the Gunter Tigers can reload.
Go ahead, Coach Gill. He just talked about how excited he was for this opportunity, knowing that he had some big shoes to fill because this has been such a championship level team.
Out of the timeout, 4th and goal from the 1. Bentley lost the football. They snapped it and he wasn't ready. And he's tackled in the backfield. Bo Bentley's pleading with the officials. I don't know if the officials know what just happened. Flag on the play.
Maybe they thought there was signals or interference, but either way, that ball comes out, and also Coach Bill Elliott is all the way out on the hash. He obviously saw it as well.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on 52 White, the 15-yard penalty, first down move.
So that's going to bring the ball out to the 20, and Gunter will take over on downs. That ball got snapped, and Bo Bentley had no idea the football was coming, and I think the argument from Celina, certainly the argument from their center, Ace Draper, was that somebody, I think what they were trying to say, and I think the argument that Bill Elliott was trying to make, was that maybe somebody on the defensive front for Gunter made a call that was trying to replicate the signal from Bentley, and that's what triggered the snap, and that's why Bentley didn't know it was coming. That can be flagged. It's called disconcerting signals. The officials didn't hear it. The snap came early, and it's Gunter football, and immediately Knox Gage is planted by Lawson Allen. No gain on the first play of the possession.
Well, and I'll tell you what, the center, Ace Draper, was furious. And so was Coach Bill Elliott.
Gunter's going to have to fly if they're going to make anything of this. Under 5 minutes here in the 4th, and they're down 3 scores. Campidi, a pickup of 6, and it's 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Campidi's had himself a night as well, but I got to give credit to the Bobcats defense. They figured him out. But if they could only just stop him from rattling off those big yards, because that's where the majority of those yards have come from for him.
3rd and 4. The little slant pattern. Nice catch by Alex Fenner.
Yikes.
Now they're saying incomplete.
Oh, he got down in the ground for that.
Fenner can't believe it. He's trying to argue. The official is emphatically saying no, incomplete.
Well, they were about to start moving the chains and have to take that back. Brings up a 3rd and 4.
Another look at it here. I don't know, man. That looks like a catch.
It does.
They're trying to reset the chains and the position of the football. It should be 4th and 4. The ball's got to be at the 26-yard line. They have it at the 24. The stick is correct. The place of the football is not. You can see the stick at the top of your screen, the third down marker. That's at the 26.
They still hadn't figured that out.
All they have to do is place the football where the stick is. The chain crew's got it correct. It should be 4th down and 4 with the ball at the 26-yard line.
Previous play was an incomplete pass. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the Gunter bench. Be half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
That's what the delay was. They were discussing that, so instead of 4th and 4 from the 26.
Maybe some choice words from the coaching staff.
They clearly thought that it should have been a catch, and frankly, on the one replay angle we had of it, I'm inclined to agree. It was close, no doubt. And certainly the officials down on the field have got a better angle than that replay angle we had. It should be 4th down and 18, not 3rd and 18, because the penalty was after the play. Either way, it's 3rd and 18 as it's being handled right now on the field. Now it will be 4th and 18 as Fenner couldn't grab that one that was behind him.
Yeah, I've given Knox Gage a ton of credit all night, man. He has been just coming out of the back of the pocket, figuring out ways to get the ball down the field to his wide receivers. I mean, does this guy have any escape hatches left?
It's 4th and 18. One might argue it's 5th and 18. Gage, deep ball, single coverage, nice adjustment up the far sideline. And what a catch.
He dropped it.
Oh no, he dropped it. Incomplete. Oh my goodness, I thought Gage Prescott had it for sure. Instead, it's a 4th down stop for Celina. And that, if the game wasn't put away already, that will put it to bed.
And Julian Mayfield had great coverage, but even a better adjustment there at the last minute.
He punched it out.
Yeah.
Clay Marshall, show us that one more time. This is a sensational play at the very end by Julian Mayfield. If we can slow this down at the point of the catch, because he did catch this football, and if not for the punch right there, that's a completion and a 1st down.
But his knees are down.
I think just you play that in real time. Like if we can see that one more time in real speed, that would be, it's too quick for that to be a completion and a fumble. That is a sensational play by Julian Mayfield. And it's a 4th down stop for the Celina defense.
Yeah, taking nothing away from that play, because like you said, that is sensational, but also having the wherewithal to continue to play through.
Yeah. 1st and 10, Gutierrez with the handoff. And they will let this clock burn. 2 timeouts left for Gunter, but I think the Tiger sideline also sees the reality of the scenario at this point, down 3 scores with under 4 minutes to play.
Oh, this has been a hard-fought game, as the Bobcats still, man, they are trying to put some more points on the board.
Bentley dropped that snap, able to get out to the sideline. Another flag on the play. This has been a game that has been littered with yellow flags. Goodness.
They threw that in Wyatt Villarreal's direction. See what the call is. They wave it off.
They will wave off the flag. Quick look ahead to 10:40 on WFAA Plus for Friday Night Football 5th quarter. Our post-game streaming highlight show only on WFAA Plus in 19 minutes time. Highlights from all around the area. Joe Trahan at the Frisco Emerson Prosper Walnut Grove game tonight. Michelle Montaigne at the Denton High Richland game this evening. 3rd and goal, Gutierrez patiently waiting for the hole to develop, surges forward. It's going to be very close whether or not that's a first down based on that spot.
Oh, he's right at the sticks, and they go ahead and wave him through, so it's going to make this a 1st and goal.
Whew, that was a great look at it from Sam Baker, our field camera operator, right down the line. I'm not certain that he got there. No replay in Texas high school football until we get to the 12 state championship games, so it doesn't ultimately matter. Ruled on the field a first down, and a first down it will remain. But that was very, very close. Good fight by Gutierrez to get far enough to earn the first down. And it's 1st and goal. Timeout called by Bill Elliott.
Timeout, Celina. That's their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Give you one more look ahead to next week here on Friday Night Football, because we are as fired up for this one as could possibly be. Number 1, Southlake Carroll. Number 9, Euless Trinity, right here on the WFAA Plus streaming app. You can download WFAA Plus to your television for free. Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. For those of you watching on YouTube, we'll be right back here on YouTube as well.
Some of the biggest offensive and defensive linemen in the state at Euless Trinity.
Yep.
Man.
There's no doubt about that. Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Celebrate with us. Special occasions deserve unforgettable experiences. From intimate date nights to large gatherings, Texas Day Brazil is the perfect place to celebrate life's milestones in style. Out of the timeout, 1st and goal from the 2 here for Celina as they look to put this one away. Bentley looking for his first passing score of the day, and he's got it. Nice grab by Wyatt Villarreal. Fitting for those two to cap off a very nice day with a touchdown. And it's 42-19 Celina.
Well, everybody tuned in to see the Bo Bentley show, and he did not disappoint. These guys have stayed in attack mode all the way to the end with 2:30 left. He's still looking for his number 1 target, and number 88, Wyatt Villarreal, that just is setting up camp in the corner of the end zone.
Extra point is good. 43-19. The Celina Bobcats have opened this thing up. Now a 24-point advantage. This is a game that was played a bit closer than that throughout most of the night. Gunter cut the lead down to 10 at 2 different junctures, just before halftime, just after halftime, about midway through the 3rd quarter. You look up and it's a 29-19 ball game, and I think if you're a Texas high school football fan that has been following these two teams, that understands the nature of Texas high school football and just what a difficult task this would have been for Gunter tonight, punching up as big as they are, a school with 363 students for their enrollment against a Celina team with 1177. That's a big ask.
Yes.
I think a lot of people expected this game to look a lot like last year's game did. It was ultimately the final score will look relatively similar. 38-7 last year, a 31-point game. It's a 24-point game right now. This game was played a bit closer than that for most of the night.
Yeah, but what happened was they wore them down. They wore them down offensively and defensively, and when the plays needed to be made, the Bobcats were the ones that were making them.
Yes.
The Tigers, it just got to the point where they got too erratic offensively and relied too much. You know, Knox Gage had to just continue to pull a rabbit out of his hat, and he just ran out of tricks.
Short kickoff field at the 38-yard line. Yeah, this is a night where I feel like both coaches probably walk away feeling like they did a number of good things offensively and defensively.
I see that, yeah.
I think both coaches would probably walk away with their biggest takeaway. Hey, knock all that other stuff off. Yeah. That's probably the biggest takeaway of the whole night for both coaching staffs. There's probably going to be some gassers run by both of these football teams maybe tomorrow after film for some of the things that happened beyond the scope of the football play. But if you just look at and evaluate what was done on the field, I think both coaching staffs can walk away with things to build upon, the things that make you feel like, okay, that was sharp. We like that. We like that. Certainly some things to work on too. But this was a progressive night for both programs.
Hey, Logan Gutierrez is going to be too sore to run gassers tomorrow. He and Wyatt Villarreal, you can keep their names off of that list.
Right. 1st and 10.
Wow.
Nice work to get the sack. Jackson Matlock with the shoestring tackle of Knox Gage and a loss of 10 on the play.
I tell you what, man, I have been so impressed with Jackson Maddox. He is relentless and just continuing to make life a living you-know-what.
Second and long, and it's picked off. L.J. Taylor getting his hands on the football.
Oh, wow. What a play.
Just plucked it out of the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big time. That's big time.
That is, man.
What a play by L.J. Taylor, and that'll put this thing fully to bed as we hit the 2-minute timeout. We'll step aside for a moment. A couple of kneel downs away for the Celina Bobcats as they look to get to 3-0.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
End zone shot. What a catch.
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Back here in Melissa, the first down carry for the Celina Bobcats. Carter Place carrying for a few as we round things out here on Friday Night Football. Again, Friday Night Football 5th quarter coming your way tonight at 10:40. 11 minutes from now here on WFAA+. We will have the Texas Day Brazil on fire player of the game coming your way after this game concludes, and we will also bring you the play of the game, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute, after this one goes final. 2nd down and 7. Carter Place into the pile and slung backward. This game has remained chippy even right here through till the end. Chris Grimaldo slinging him backward. 3rd down and a minute on the clock.
Don't let this change your mind about Gunter out there. I promise you, this is a good team, and these guys will find themselves in Arlington at AT&T Stadium playing for a state title.
Yeah, we saw quite a bit from Knox Gage and Jay Campedi. A 3A D2 program's going to have a hard time dealing with that tandem this year. But it's the Celina Bobcats that will get the win tonight. Bo Bentley with the kneel down, and Celina improves to 3-0 on the year. 3 touchdown runs for Logan Gutierrez, 3 combined touchdowns from Bo Bentley, and a 24-point win for the defending 4A Division I state champions as they knock off Gunter 43-19.
Yeah, what a performance tonight by number 1, Bo Bentley. He came out and handled his business. But, man, Logan Gutierrez, man, he was the workhorse, bell cow running back that you expect him to be. But, boy, in between the tackles, the tough yardage, first downs, he was the man tonight.
When we come back, the Texas Day Brazil on fire player of the game and the Children's Health Andrews Institute play of the game. After this on Friday Night Football.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Mark Istook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the Call-In Show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by Keypost Company.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pubs out, make sure to protect your paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover.
And now, the Texas Day Brazil on fire player of the game.
Logan Gutierrez with a monster night. 25 carries, 222 rushing yards, and 3 touchdown runs. This one from 16 yards out gave him a 22-6 lead in the second quarter. Hackman Harrison, he was sensational tonight.
He was, and he gave the Tigers all that they can ask for. The defense tried to come out and ruin the party here tonight for Celina, but man, they just did not have enough firepower to stop that running attack. If it wasn't Gutierrez, then it was Bo Bentley. When they finally got that figured out, Wyatt Villarreal woke up.
He did in a very big way. 11 for a $143 and a touchdown for Wyatt Villarreal. 43-19 the final. Celina with the win. Play of the game right after this.
End zone shot. End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Euless Trinity at South Lake Carroll. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Mark Istook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the Call-In Show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by Keypost Company.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Here's tonight's Friday Night Football Play of the Game, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.